Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's show. Yeah, we're waiting on Vlad to get his audio fixed, but he'll be on here in a minute. I decided to go ahead and get started because I know there's a lot of people out there that have been just waiting. So, hello, everybody. Jessica G, how are you doing tonight? UTB Doug, how are you doing? Quiddy's the Sprinkler, good to see you. Craven Mordick, always a pleasure. Okay. A couple of things to announce before we get started. The first is many of you may have noticed that it's been a while since I've released a new video. And I'll be on camera tonight, everybody. We're just getting all the stuff set up in the behind the scenes first before we get the camera showing. But I know a lot of you have noticed that I haven't put out a lot of videos lately. And one of the reasons why is because I was working on this big community project. And the community project, as soon as I uploaded it, like I knew there was a possibility YouTube was going to try to screw me around. So I uploaded it to my gaming channel first, as an unlisted video, just to see if there was any problems with it. And my gaming channel got a community strike immediately, just for even uploading the video, citing that I was going against what the WHO had said. And of course, anybody that watches my videos will know that that's because of the that's totally because of the source material, not my video. I don't go against what the health officials say. But yeah, so I didn't get a chance to upload it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm gonna put a link to the video in the chat, and you guys are welcome to watch it, download it, whatever. It has all, like, a bunch of debunkers are on it. Give me 1 second to get it for you. Okay, so in the chat, I have just posted the link. And like I said, feel free to watch it, download it, whatever. I don't care. It was made for you guys anyway. It's just unfortunate that YouTube won't allow me to put it up. Now let me check in with Vlad real quick to see how he's doing. Hey, Vlad, can you hear me? Vlad, are you there?
You.
Yo, Vlad, can you hear me?
Yeah, but barely. My wife. Hold on.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we're still waiting on Vlad to get technical difficulty issues worked out. UTB Doug, yeah, Team Skeptic pulling a Thunderfoot. It's unfortunate. Like, YouTube, there's just so much crazy shit that YouTube allows to go through, but then they won't allow my video to go through when my video supports what they want it to support. Like, it's debunking the claims. It's stupid. But guys, feel free to download that video and watch it on your own time. I'll probably pin a comment if you're watching this in the future and you want to find the what's it called, the link real easily. I'll just have a pinned comment with the link in it. Anyway, Glober Mom, how you doing? Christ Puncher, good to see you. Nikki, how are you doing? King Crew, PhD Tony. PhD Tony, hey, if you want to come on tonight, you're more than welcome to. Let me know in the chat if you do. What's up, Mr. Serious? How you doing? Oh, and I'll tell you guys a funny story, too. Earlier, probably 15 minutes ago, I was taking an Oakley, okay? And I guess I didn't realize that I had this extra Philips Hue bulb. I had, I guess my son had a... one of the white ones that didn't change colors. So when I installed it, of course, I put that on the same like room, I guess is what they're called. I put it in the same room as the rest of my lights. So I was sitting there taking my Oakley, and while I was doing that, the lights started flashing on and off. And I think the lights were flashing on and off because of either a new subscriber or a new member or a super chat. I'm not sure. But something made my lights flash on and off. And there I was praying for all intents and purposes. And the lights start flashing on and off. It was a sign from God. Oh, let's see. What up, Wildman Fujiyami? How you doing? Blunt Man, are you playing COD later? Quite possibly. Rampant says just Team Skeptic. What up? Oh, there go the lights right there. Because we have a new member. That would be Hellfire Hammer. Thank you very much. Everybody in the chat, you know what to do. Share those emojis, especially that Nathan Thompson in jail. Team Skeptic in a mankini, and tonight's specialty, the 2 dumpster fires. Of course, my thing isn't working. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, let's check in with Vlad real quick. Vlad, how you doing over there? Vlad, are you there?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
Can you
Hear
hear me?
me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, but man, it was perfect and now it went away again. Hold on. Okay, there. You hear me good, right?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. Had it. I had it. I'm talking to my wife. It was super good and loud for 1 second, then it went away.
Okay. All right, well, I'll just read a super chat, and then I also have a few new members, so I'll get through those while we wait on you to get your audio issues. But I'll check in with you in 1 second. All right, let's see. Oh, we also have Ilya Moon. Welcome to the Golden Dingers. I don't know why it said that. I think that's what made my toilet light flash was Ilya Moon, but I think that Ilya was I think she upgraded last time, so I don't know exactly what's going on there. But hey, thanks a lot, Ilya. Love you, hun. Bella Charge for 5 New Zealand dollars. I heard team enjoys 4N 4L anal. Yeah, surprise anal, the best kind. The Mankini candidate. Oh shit, just became a new member. You know what time it is. You get to use all the precious emojis, especially that Team Skeptic and a Mankini one. And then Thomas the Dark Knight Marshall said $5. Need a shirt. Where can I get one? Teespring. Let me get you that. Let me get you that link real quick. I'm sorry. I was trying to send my mankinis out in the chat. Vlad, how you doing over there?
Good, good. Hearing you loud and clear.
You hear me? Okay, good deal. So you ready to get this
Yeah,
conversation going?
yeah.
All right, 1 second. Let me share
Perfect.
this link in the chat and let's get going.
How you hearing me?
Oh, I'm hearing you perfectly fine, man. $5 for Jessica G. Maybe instead of telling us why Vlad thinks the Earth is flat, he could explain why his significant other's butt is flat instead. Uh-oh. They saw your wife.
No, but my wife looks way better than her. Let's see that girl that just said that and compare to my wife. That girl is ugly. Whoever said that,
Oh,
hating on the
hey,
pretty girl. My wife's beautiful,
well,
beautiful.
I think all women are beautiful. So,
Nah, I don't know.
Rampant for 1,000
I
claps
hate
says
her.
where is FTFE? FTFE gets the night off tonight. He's been putting in a lot of work lately, especially after having the 40-hour stream. And then PhD Tony says he'd like to come on. Hey, we'll bring PhD Tony on. Derek Watson also became a new member. Thank you, Derek Watson. Hey, I haven't had a chance to respond to your message on Patreon, but thank you for also joining my Patreon. I do appreciate it. And these mankinis, yeah, you're getting nothing but mankinis today. These mankinis are just for you. All right, there. Oh, yep. And then here's the Teespring address for whoever was asking about merch right there. All right, and let me get PhD Tony an invite to join real quick. 1 second. So anyway, Vlad, what's new on your flat Earth? You there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I said, what's new on your flat Earth,
Yeah.
man? Flat Earth is dying.
Nothing.
Why are you still holding
No way.
around?
We're growing in numbers. Where you been? Our
Growing in
numbers are
numbers.
rising. Our numbers are
Okay.
rising, homie.
Well, hey, the presence on YouTube, the presence of flat earthers on YouTube would beg to differ.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, man. It's going up. Numbers are rising. You guys
All
can't
right.
hold down the truth.
Well, why do you
Yeah.
think that the numbers are rising when I say that the numbers are falling? Why is there no new
You're
flat Earth
wrong.
stuff? We can. Hey, you want to do a search real quick and see how little flat Earth is on YouTube right now?
We
I mean,
don't talk
flat
about
Earth is
COVID right
dying.
now. It's all
We
about
talk
COVID
about
right now.
we can talk about whatever
It's
you
all about
want. How
COVID.
about that?
No, I'm saying no. Flat Earth isn't dying. Just no one's paying attention to it right now because everyone's looking at COVID 19.
Yeah,
Even you guys
because
aren't getting
flat
as
Earth.
much stuff.
Well, okay. No. Flat Earth
You
is
know what
a
I'm saying?
joke. COVID-19 is serious.
No,
That's the difference. Flat Earth
no,
is a
no,
joke.
no,
COVID-19 is
no.
serious.
Opposite. COVID 19 is a joke. I don't see your mask. What's your mask? What is your
Why do I
mask,
need?
man?
I'm at home. Why would I be wearing a mask? I'm at
Look,
home.
your spittle get plates, man. You could infect people. People are gonna
Hey,
be
give me.
dying at your house, man. If it's real.
All right, hold on 1 second. We
Put
do have
that
a.
mask on, man. Where's your mask,
Well,
homie? It's so
well, no.
real,
Hey, you want to know where my
huh?
mask is? Look, hey, just to show you.
Put it on, hey, man. You put it on, man.
Hey, my mask is around here, Vlad. I'll get it. I'll go
What
walk around and find it real quick. But I keep my
is, yeah.
mask ready on
All
hand
right,
anytime I walk out the
all
door to
right,
take it
homie.
with me. I take
All
a
right,
mask with
homie.
me every time I walk out the
Uh,
door. All right, but we do
you're a
have
good
an
boy.
extra. No, I'm doing. Hey, I'm doing my part, man. You should be doing your
Oh
part. Why
yeah.
would you not do your part? Do you think
No
it's? Do
part
you
to be
think it's
done.
a? Do you think it's a hoax or something? I
Who's
mean, why
that?
would you not pull your part?
Well, I don't know. Nobody's dying, man. Who's that
Are
guy
you
down there with
kidding
the
me?
mouth?
180,000 Americans have already died from this, man. What are you talking
Oh
about?
yeah. No, 180 billion. Who's that guy down there? Who's
This is
he?
PhD Tony has decided to join us tonight in the conversation. He's
He got
pretty
his
cool
mask.
dude.
He's got his mask on.
Why do
I
He's
you?
like a
thought
Lone
I
Ranger
thought
over
you'd be reassured if I wore it.
there. Huh? Yeah.
I said you seem to be quite insistent that we wear masks. I just wanted to let you know that this is the mask I currently wear when I go outside. I
You're a
live
good boy.
alone, so there's
You're,
nobody around to infect. But if you're going to
so why are
insist
you
on it,
wearing it?
as though I beg your pardon.
You don't have to do it, man. You don't have to wear it just because I was joking. Why are you wearing it if you don't live with anyone?
See, Vlad.
It's sort of we got all these claims that it's bad for you or whatever. It's not. It's
Uh-huh.
just something you do out of
You look
consideration
funny.
for
No,
other
it's something you
people.
do.
Why
But
wouldn't
you
you wear
said
a
you're
mask?
alone.
Yep.
Well, I don't go around spitting on people. But I never did.
No,
I
no,
No,
never
no. Hold
will.
you
on,
don't.
hold
You
on.
don't. You don't deliberately go around doing that. But when you speak and when you breathe out little droplets, and those droplets contain
Uh huh.
Not me.
various microbes.
No,
No,
you.
not me,
Okay.
homie.
Well, I, I, you can assert that you are not like other human beings, and perhaps there is some metric by which you are different from other humans, apart from your proclivity for uh, conspiracy theories and the flat Earth. But the reality is that biologically, you're just a human. All humans do this. It doesn't make you worse. It doesn't make you any different. This is sort of, I have respect for you as a person, and so
Uh-huh.
I have respect for everybody else as a person. So when I go out in public, I just do the minimum that I can do to keep everybody else from safe. because I don't think I'm ill, but perhaps I am. I don't know. I could be asymptomatic. That's the whole point behind the masks, is that you can't tell whether or not you're sick, and you could be infecting other people without knowing it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be infecting other people. I saw your lovely wife earlier on. You don't want to be infecting her. You don't want to be infecting anybody else because you're a nice person. So why not wear a mask? It doesn't have any downside. Why not do it?
Yeah, because you look weird. Looks weird.
Looks
Looks
weird
weird.
Well,
is looks weird is
look,
not a
looks
valid
looks
reason
fine.
for not
You know,
for not wearing
okay,
it.
let
But
me take my
I
mask
mean,
off.
you could walk around there. That's better.
I look
I can see
ugly.
your face. I like that better.
I
No, well,
I look
not as
ugly.
not as ugly.
I'm an ugly.
You don't
I'm
have
an
as
ugly
ugly.
old fat guy. I don't care about
You,
looks.
you're not as ugly as Team.
That's 100%
You're
confirmed.
just
That's
saying that
scientifically
to make
confirmed.
me feel bad.
See,
But it ain't gonna make. But
Team looks like
Vlad,
a
for
damn crack. Team, you look like a damn tweaker or something, man.
that's fine.
Good
That's fine.
team. Good,
Hey, you know what?
good,
That's like
good,
I've been called every
close to
name in the
death.
book. I've been called every name in the
Help.
book, but the one thing that flat earthers won't do is put their money where their mouth is. So I'll go take a drug test right now and put up $1,000, I'll put up the title to my car. It's a free win for me. But I'll go take a drug test and show you that there's absolutely nothing in my system other than marijuana. You'll definitely find that, but outside of that, you won't find anything else. So you want to put that money and prove me wrong?
I
Free
mean, you
car for
look like a
you.
zombie.
Hey, if you're
You look,
100% right, it's a free car for you for a
I
thousand
think
I don't know. I
you.
dollars.
got a
I
nice
think you should
car.
try.
That's a free
I got
car
a nice
though.
car already. I got that Dodge
But
Charger DT already, man. I don't need another car.
Then let's put up
You look like a
titles.
zombie.
Let's put up titles.
Oh, well, yeah, and I'm just saying, man. You might not be a tweaker, but you look like a zombie or something. Like you got the dark wings under
I
your
do
eyes
have
and
an
shit, man. I don't know.
interesting I do
Something's
have an interesting sleep schedule, but drugs, no, you won't ever
uh,
find drugs in my system. So, but
uh,
okay, what do you want to talk about tonight, Vlad? I think everybody here wants to hear you talk about some flat Earth shit. You got
all
anything
right,
new for the
right.
flat Earth, or do we have to
I do.
go over old
I
points?
yeah. You know, that's a good point you made because we've been talking about the same old stuff so many
Hmm.
times. I was getting bored of it. You know, the lasers, the refraction, the gravity, the bending laser, all that stuff. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. And what's the gentleman's name down there? Now I can
PhD
see him.
Tony.
He,
you
he
can
look
PhD
just call me
Tony.
Tony.
PhD Tony. Whoa. All right.
Just call me
Um,
Tony. It's fine.
Tony. Who's that? Tony the Tiger. Who's that guy? That's Tony. Just got like. All right, man. Anyway, okay, team. Here's a good one for you. Uh, a live stream from space. That's what I want to see. There's supposed to be satellites way up there. Uh, you know where?
Well, I believe it
Do
was
hold on.
Echo
Let me
Star.
just finish. Hold on. But
All right, go
let me
ahead.
lay it out for you. Then you can try to knock it down. Okay. Uh, there's nothing. Okay. Let me wrote down here. What I'm talking about is, for example, you got a satellite way up there so that you can see the whole ball, and the ball is turning. And then with the satellite, you zoom in so that you can see cities passing by because the Earth itself is like turning 1,000 miles an hour. So everything's like zooming by. The Earth itself, zoom in. You can even see the people in the places where they're supposed to be. And the natural looking turning of the Earth, rotating of the Earth, should be apparent. It should be visible. It should be like authentic looking, natural looking. You know, um, you see the earth, see all the detailed people, the buildings, the skyscrapers, lakes and rivers, um, countrysides, you know, like zooming by as the earth is rotating. We never see that. We always see like that one still frame of, oh, here's a picture of the globe, and here's a picture of Godzilla, here's a picture of King Kong, here's a picture of Batman. You know, there's nothing natural looking about the stuff you guys are putting forth from space supposedly. It all looks
Well,
like you just done in a little
you
film
say it's
studio. Like
right.
looks
Okay, so
real.
you say it's not natural looking, but it's absolutely natural looking to me. This is how I would imagine the Earth looking if it was if a picture was taken from space.
but if you had like a cell phone, you could, like if I'm in, and you can tell I'm really in this room right now. You're in a room right now. He's in a room. It looks real. The globe is just like a frozen, still, artificial looking image. There's nothing. There's no motion, realistic, natural looking movement. Like zoom into that sucker. Let me
Yeah,
see
okay,
the buildings. You know what I'm saying?
so
It's like
if
live
you
stream. I want to see real.
right. Okay. So Echo, I
Look
believe it
real.
was Echo Star
Hold on.
11.
You're a visual guy.
Hold on.
Okay, you're a visual guy. If you're a visual guy, you're an artist. You know what I'm talking about.
I
Understand?
am an artist.
It's
Yes.
natural. Okay, so if you're honest, you're gonna agree with me. There's nothing natural looking that we could see, including the moon
Well,
landing.
No.
Looks like
Can I
don't look natural, man.
say something?
go ahead, Tony.
So, Vlad, when you use the term natural looking, that means that you have an image in your head of how stuff should look, right? How stuff should appear. And if it doesn't
I've been on
appear
the
like that,
right, right. Yeah,
Let
I
him
know how
finish,
reality
Vlad.
looks.
Let him finish,
so
Vlad. Go ahead.
so when stuff comes up that doesn't look like that, you go, well, that's not what your response is. That's not natural. Whereas when I have that sort of experience, if something comes up and it doesn't match what I think it should look like, I go, wow, that's weird. Why doesn't it look like what I think it should look like? Is there something wrong with the image, or is there something wrong with the way I'm thinking about it? And it can work out either way, right? Sometimes it will be there's something wrong with the image, and sometimes there'll be something wrong with the way I was thinking about it. So my question is, why don't you entertain the possibility that there's something wrong with the way with what you were expecting? In other words, could your expectation be incorrect? Could it be the case that actually things do look like that? You just weren't expecting it.
No,
Okay, why not?
well, because like I said, I'm familiar with what real things look like, how it moves within a television screen, even, or in real life, or if someone's holding a cell phone, and when I'm making videos, moving around, you see that I'm a real person in a real environment, and the environment is being filmed through the camera is moving accordingly. We
Okay.
understand, we've seen that whole life. You know how it looks. What I see coming from your side all looks very static. Now, give me an example. You're saying when sometimes something was wrong with you, but not what you're seeing. Give me an example of when something looked fake to you, but it wasn't actually fake. So I know what you mean
Yeah,
by
sure.
that.
Let me tell you.
I know,
Okay, yeah, 100% easy, okay? If you go look at the hour hand on a clock, you'll tell people it's not moving. If you just look at it, and you can look at it for, let's say, a minute, right? A full minute, 60 seconds. You say, I'm really going to stare at this thing for a second and determine whether it's moving or not. And you stare at it, and you're convinced after a minute it's not moving. The truth of the matter is it is moving. It's constantly moving. It's just moving so slow that you can't see it. You're not going to be able to perceive it in that short amount of time. And then when you're talking about pictures of the Earth from space, the Earth is spinning at half that speed. So when you're looking at what you should see from the clock moving, the hour hand on the clock moving over an entire minute, the Earth is going to rotate half that distance or half that speed.
Yeah. There's another
but
point that I'd like to raise here.
well, hold on, hold
Okay,
on,
so
PhD.
okay,
Hold on, Tony.
go on, Vlad.
Before you
Vlad.
raise that,
Go on.
let's shoot one and then shoot the ball back. But the team, that's not what I just said. What you're saying and what I saying are two different things. What did I say?
Have I ever seen something
No. Before
that I...
about no. You're talking about a slow moving hour hand, comparing to a slow moving Earth that we wouldn't know. I'm saying with the technology we have and the cameras we have, high def, low, we've got a lot of stuff going on as far as video making goes. We've got good cameras. Let's zoom into the Earth from space, number one.
Mhm.
So we're looking at it looking at the whole ball from a satellite in space, and then we zoom into it so close. Let's say so that it appears that we're maybe 500 feet above it, and then because now when you get closer, that our hand doesn't look like it's so slow anymore. We would see things whizzing by. 500 feet above the surface of the Earth, and you're not moving because you're in space. We should observe the Earth
Wait, hold on.
moving,
Are you
rotating,
saying?
and things
Hold on.
zooming by.
Are you saying that? Hold on. Are you saying that you can go up about 500 feet and be in space to see the Earth spinning?
Is that what I said?
That's what it was kind of cutting out, and I heard you say 500
Okay.
feet off of the
No,
surface. So,
no.
and I also
With a
heard you
satellite,
say
listen.
space.
No. You zoom. You're in the satellite, which is however high it
Okay.
is, way high enough so that you see the whole globe. And then with the camera, the satellite, you zoom in to the Earth. And then, just so the team understands what I'm saying. Hold on, PhD.
Oh, I understand now. I understand.
So that you get close enough so that it appears 500 feet from Earth, and then just stay on one spot with the camera. Just focus on one spot, and the Earth is going to be zooming by because it's supposedly spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and then that would look awesome. We would see like cities zoom by, lakes, you and me, whatever's on the street.
Right. But
How
okay,
come we don't get that? We don't get that. That would be authentic. And I'll be believing like you guys then. I never see
go ahead,
that.
Tony. Hold on, Vlad. Go ahead, Tony. I'll let you take this.
All right.
So there are 2 points that I'd like to make. One, satellites are really expensive. So getting them into orbit is actually costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of effort to get them up there. So we don't do it for something that is useless. And what you're suggesting is useless. It would look cool, but it is practically useless. It doesn't serve any research purposes. It doesn't serve any observational purposes. In order to get meaningful observations, we need the satellite to be moving at a relatively slow velocity relative to the surface of the Earth. So what you're suggesting is a gigantic investment in something that is practically useless, except insofar as it would convince you of the shape of the Earth. Well, there are, you'd be surprised how little research institutions are willing to dedicate to showing you something that is actually demonstrably true and well known from other techniques. So what you're asking for is billions of dollars, at least $1 billion investment into something that is useless, that has no practical value other than making really cool graphics. Really cool graphics might be nice, but they're just not useful. They don't justify the expenditure that you're talking about.
Hey, team. Tony has a PhD, but not in business. Obviously not in business.
Well, I don't think he claims to have a PhD. Yeah, but he doesn't claim to have a PhD in business. He has a PhD in earth sciences, though. So he'd be the man. He'd be the man to talk about. He'd be the man to talk to about earth science.
But he definitely don't have a. You don't have a PhD in business, right? Because let me tell you, how much you think Coca-Cola would pay for a live stream of a Coke ad from a satellite in space that you see it like on the top of a blimp, for example? Coca-Cola.
CGI that for a fraction of the cost.
No, we don't want to see CGI. We want to see the real thing, Tony.
You may not want to see CGI.
No, we all do. Everybody would want to see
Nobody else is going to.
Yes, they would.
Nobody
yes,
else.
they would.
It is the difference between.
Yes, everybody.
Nobody else.
Everybody would want to see the real thing. Everybody would want to see the real thing. Sorry to break the news, Tony. Sorry to break the news, Tony. You don't know about business.
First
everybody wants to see that. We're tired of CGI. We want to see the real thing.
Vlad,
I'm not
listen.
Talking
yet. You may do.
No, but that's not the
You're right,
Tony.
You and your friends do. You and your friends want to see the real thing.
You're not a
but nobody else. You are a tiny minority of Earth population.
You're not a businessman.
You're not.
Tony's not a business.
Okay,
And
so
yeah,
all right,
Tony,
let me tell you,
all of
let me
it,
tell you
I
something.
wish
Let me
I
tell you
could.
something, Vlad. Hold on. Let me explain something to you about the
Tony's
American
wrong.
people. We've become a little bit too pampered by, you know, like by the absence of the anybody really going to space, right? Like we once we hit in '69, after the first 2 or 3 missions of making it to the moon, that nobody was watching anymore. In fact, you know, the Apollo 13 disaster, right? It wasn't even being covered by national television. Men going to the moon wasn't even being covered. Okay, there is not going to be this huge demand for somebody seeing a Coke commercial shot in space. That's nothing significant. Now they do have plans to shoot a full length feature film in space, which is something significant. But simply taking a Coke bottle and seeing it in space, that's nothing real significant. That's not worth investing the amount of money that would need to go into to making that happen. You know, so what they can do is they can pay a couple of $1,000s to a graphics effects company and have them make what would look exactly the same as the Coke actually being in space, and they can do that with today's technology. They couldn't do it in '69,
Well,
but they could
yeah,
do it now.
yeah.
But
Well, it's the only
the
thing they
point
can do.
is that
It's the only thing
we
they can do.
what the point
It's the
is
only
that
thing they can do.
once we made it to the moon, the desire to go to the moon in the public interest was drifted away quickly. Just like nobody is like, while we deal with a bunch of science nerds, and I'm one of them, you know, proudly I'm a science nerd. We deal with a bunch of science nerds that are interested in space and interested in all that. We're like a select minority of the population. Most of the population really doesn't care. It's not has nothing to do with their daily lives. It's not Facebook worthy. It's not Twitter worthy. You know, I mean, they don't follow the space program. So doing that would not really be that big of a deal for the American public, and it cost Coke a lot of money. If you're talking from a business point of view, it would make a lot more sense for them to just do it here on Earth with a CGI, right here on the surface of Earth.
Well, I feel like I said because that's all they can do.
No, what do you mean that's all they can do? They're
Oh,
about to
yeah.
shoot a full feature length film in space. In like a
But
year to two
why would they
years,
do
we'll
that?
see this.
You just got done saying nobody cares about that and it's too expensive. But now you're going to turn
Okay,
around and say we're going to
hold
shoot
on,
it.
hold
So
on, hold
why
on,
do it
hold on.
there? It's
No, no,
too
no, no,
expensive to
no,
be
Vlad,
here on
Vlad,
Earth.
Vlad. You missed the whole
Come
point,
on, man.
Vlad. Listen, you missed the point. You missed the point of that. The first part of
Yeah,
it was in '69. We were filming the moon. It was a huge thing for man to go to the moon. By I think 72, I think it was when Apollo 13, 72 or 73. By 72, 73, they weren't even filming people. They weren't even like there was no media coverage of it. It took Apollo 13 having a disaster to become part of even really in the public eye. So we do lose interest when it's something that we're doing that we've already done before. The astronauts are taking their own personal stuff up to space already. So, but it still costs a lot of money. It would cost Coke a lot of money to make a commercial for something that maybe people aren't going to be that interested in, when they could spend a lot less right here on Earth and do it in a CGI studio and like a 3D graphics effects studio. So your
well,
point's
people.
invalid anyway.
No, no. My point is great. I mean, my point is true because people are also getting tired of the CGI stuff. It looked cool when it first came out. Now everything is CGI and it's not that interesting. If Coke came out with natural, authentic looking video shot from space, like what I'm saying, that doesn't have to be Coke. That's just one example I thought of on the top of my head. It could be a number of things. There's billions of dollars that could be made in
Okay,
the
so
capitalist system. If they could do that,
okay, but
if we go
regardless
to
of the fact that
time,
they don't do it, the absence of Coke commercials shot in space is not evidence that space itself does not exist. It's not evidence that the Earth
it
itself is
is.
not round. No, it's not.
It,
How is
hold
it
on,
evidence?
hold on. Because the market proves it's not possible. Because there's billions of dollars that could be made if it could be done. Since it can't be done, it isn't done, and therefore the people that can make the billions of dollars don't do it, don't try it because it's not possible. So that's
Well,
how it proves it's not possible.
yeah,
Because of the
so
amount of money that could be
your
made,
logic is that
proves
because hold
try,
on, your logic is that
try.
according to you, they would make billions to shoot this commercial in space. And because they don't, the Earth's not, or it's not round, it's flat. Is that your argument, really?
It's not a globe. Yeah, it's not because it can't be done. If it could be done, it would be done. And the market proves it's not possible. Look, or like, talk about a ride
Okay, well, all
around the
right.
Earth.
Hey, okay,
Around
hold
the Earth.
on.
May I
Buy
speak?
that. Go
What is the
ahead,
ride
Tony. Go
around
ahead,
the Earth?
Tony.
Orbit.
May
I want to take
may
a
I
ride
speak?
around
Hold
the Earth
on.
in space.
Hold on. Let
What's so
Tony
May
hard
I
about
speak.
that?
speak?
You know how many
May I
billionaires?
speak,
Hold on.
Vlad?
Vlad, let Tony speak
Vlad,
real quick.
may I speak?
Go ahead,
No.
Tony.
Okay, I
Yes.
listened to you prattle for about 5 minutes continuously about your imaginary concept of how the market works, and
Rattle.
it's complete
Rattle.
nonsense.
Like that word.
So there would be a lot of money in being able to visually inspect the interior of an atom. People would be really interested to see it. People would pay a lot of money to do it, right? Why don't they do it? Does that mean that atoms don't exist? Does it mean that protons don't exist? Does it mean that the entire molecular theory is wrong? No. Your argument is specious nonsense. Just because it would be mildly cool
Atom's not
for
solid,
something
but
to
everything's
be able
solid.
to see.
You know, the funny thing
I
about
beg your
atoms,
pardon?
the funny thing about atoms is that things are solid, but atoms are not solid. That's a strange thing. So, something fishy
Only to
going on with
somebody
reality
like yourself.
Yeah.
Only to somebody like
I mean,
yourself.
are atoms made of solid materials? An atom isn't it like energy? Yet everything's solid, but atom itself isn't solid. That's strange.
Well, it's made up of a lot of fields. That's what you could say. It's made up of a lot of subatomic particles and fields like
None of
gluon
those-
fields. And
Right. But
What's
none
that?
of those things are solid, though. But none of those things are solid. Yet
well, it
all the
depends
stuff
on how you
around-
define
Define
solid. Like,
solid.
yeah, define solid exactly. Define solid.
like Tony's head looks solid. Like the way
That's looks. That you didn't
That's
define
not a
solid. You
definition.
said, yeah,
The
that's not a
light- the way the
definition.
light
So
comes
define
up.
solid.
I'm
Why?
saying, like
Okay,
Tony said,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
If
question.
I touch it, my finger can go through. Yet an atom is like
Okay, do you
not
understand?
solid.
Do you understand what the process of touching
No.
involves? Do you understand how
you were
solids
talking
physically interact with one another at a molecular level? Do you understand that process?
All I'm saying is stuff feels solid, but when you break it down to the smallest part, the atom, the brick, like a building is made out of bricks, those bricks are solid. If reality is made out of atoms, reality feels solid, we can't put our hand through it, but the brick itself, the atom, isn't solid. That's weird. So reality itself is something a little bit not.
That's because of what you're referring to. What you're referring
Tony's got it all
to
figured
there,
out. You got it all figured out, right, Tony?
Let him talk.
Tony's
Let him
got it
talk.
all figured
Vlad,
out. You're gonna give me a lesson now.
shut the.
And that
Vlad,
lesson's
shut
gonna
up.
change.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
I'm sorry. Do you want an answer to your question, or do you just want to prattle?
Oh, well, you don't know the answer. You're just
Because
gonna
if
make.
you
you're gonna
just
make
want to prattle,
some
that's
stuff
fine.
up.
I can sit here and
That's
shut
all you're
up.
doing. Yeah, that's better. Because you're just gonna prattle off something you read in a book, and that book's gonna change in 20 years from now or 10 years from now. You know that. So I don't want to hear it really.
Okay,
You know?
so
You don't know for
Go
sure.
ahead,
So
Tony.
you are uninterested in learning anything.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
So I just want to clarify this. Are you at all? Is he muted?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So Vlad, are you interested in learning at all? Do
Are you?
think that there exists information you don't have at the moment that other people might have?
You don't have it. You don't have
Okay. How do you know
I think
that?
you do. Because you don't. You tell me you got it all figured out. Reality and atoms. You know
I
about all
don't have
that.
it all figured out. No.
All right, so quit prattling. I don't want to hear unless you got it all figured out.
So
God can tell me one day. You don't know. Only God knows. He knows. He made
okay,
it.
so Were this my stream, I would boot you instantly for that utterance.
I didn't hear what he said. What did
Probably
he say?
Because what you just said
Boot me
indicates
anytime.
that no discussion with you. Could you kindly shut up while I'm speaking, please? If you believe in God and you consider yourself a Christian, how about you exhibit some good behavior and not rudely interrupt people while they are attempting the kindness of educating you? What you have just said is that you are uninterested in learning, you are uninterested in an exchange of information, and you are uninterested in any sort of discussion other than you holding forth on your beliefs and not being challenged on them. Well, that's not the way debates work, that's not the way discussions work, and it's certainly not the way education works. So what you just said is that you are a complete waste of time and have no business on this stream.
Well, you waste my time. You just said you don't know how it all works, and but yet you're going to give me a boring lesson right now. But yet you said yourself
I know
you don't
how
understand
more
how
of
that
it works
Okay.
than you do.
It-
I don't know
it
how
might be-
everything works.
It might be boring, Rad Vlad, okay? It might be boring, but it's educational. You can learn something from it, and it can either strengthen your resolve or it can actually push you towards the truth. Let me ask you a question. Are you a flat earther because you don't want to be a globe earther, or are you a flat earther because you think the flat earth is the truth?
I think flat Earth is the truth. Well, I think
Okay,
globe
hold
is
on.
just not the truth.
Okay, great. No, flat earth is the truth. That's why you're a flat earther, okay? So you're interested in finding out the truth. Now, if you find out that the truth is that it's a globe earth and not a flat earth, are you still going to be a flat earther?
No.
Okay, so now Tony
no
is
way.
trying to help you either. Listen, Tony is trying to help you get to the truth, okay? In doing so, he is either going to strengthen your own resolve in the flat earth, or he's going to help you realize that the goal of finding the truth, that you're going off in the wrong direction, that you need to be heading more in another direction. Now that's all he's going to do. He's not going to go in there and expect you to just give up flat earth. He's going to give you information and you come to your own conclusion. Now, with the information if he gives you, if you see that it's a globe earth and you still want to say that it's a flat earth, you need to explain that. Is it cognitive dissonance? Is it just because you don't want to you're too much invested in the flat earth?
All right, look, the show's in danger of getting real boring right now. I don't want to hear a lecture about atoms from this guy. Maybe we should change the subject. No disrespect
We can talk
to him
about flat earth.
at
We
all.
can talk about flat earth, but you're the one. Yeah, but Vlad, we can talk about Vlad. Listen, we can talk about flat earth, but you're the one who brought up, not understanding what the definition of being solid was. That was why we began talking about
right.
that.
Right.
Okay, so
All right.
Tony,
little thing I said we had to spend 2 hours on it.
okay,
Quick
Tony,
thing, man.
Tony, what do you have to offer Vlad as far as globe earth proof? Or evidence.
Okay.
Evidence.
So you are familiar with the Mount St. Helens explosion, the big volcano that went off in North America?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that produced a sound shockwave that traveled around the Earth twice. You can track the pressure waves as they travel out from Mount St. Helens. You can trace them all the way around, and you can see them coming back round to Mount St. Helens and then going around for a second lap. Okay, how is that possible on a flat Earth?
Woo! Because it went across the flat Earth and bounced off the dome, baby. Woo!
Okay, in which case,
it's like thunder. That's what it did.
Can you?
That's awesome.
Can you? Yes. What I like about that is the complete vacuity of it. It is such an idiotic statement with absolutely no relation, because in that case, the repeat times between the first... I am talking again. Please do not talk over me. The repeat time between the first transit of the wave and its repeat transit would then be a function of your proximity to the edge of the dome. It would not be a function of your distance from the volcano. So we can tell from the timing of the pressure waves that what you just said is fatuous fucking nonsense and
Fuck
completely
yeah.
unrelated to reality.
Look how he talks, man. Professor, you talk like a bum. You talk like a street bum. Why you gotta?
Were there
Are you
big
getting
words
mad?
that you didn't under? No, were there big words that you
No,
didn't understand?
no, not the F words. He's cussing
You're
No,
and stuff
annoying
over
me.
there.
no.
Why you getting mad?
You're
Why are you
annoying
getting
me.
mad?
Do you even
What?
understand what he
You are
said?
deliberately
Yeah.
trying to annoy me.
How's that so easy to annoy you? Why you get annoyed so easy? With your mother like that?
You're
Be like a
trying to
Well,
woman.
annoy
okay.
me, and I'm annoyed by the fact that you're trying to annoy me.
Okay, so look, here's the thing, Vlad. He's an actual scientist. He's here to hold
Oh
on,
man,
Vlad, hold on, hold
I don't know
on.
where you found this guy, man. Yeah,
Vlad, he is a
yeah.
PhD scientist, okay? He knows what he's talking about. Okay, so please give
Not
him just
really.
a
That
little
don't
bit of
mean nothing,
respect.
man.
You're right. Hey, the fact that he has a PhD doesn't really mean that he knows exactly what he's talking about. But he does know exactly what he's talking about, and he does have a PhD in it. So he's somebody that could actually have a conversation with you about any of this stuff that either strengthens your resolve that the earth is flat or points you more in the
Okay.
direction that the earth is not flat. All right.
All right, this is
So,
my answer. This is my answer. This is my answer. Show me a picture of a natural, authentic looking video of Earth from space where you zoom in and we see the rotation of the Earth. Say it looks real, authentic, and natural. And I'll believe in the globe. Get me up there in some kind of spacecraft. But if you're talking to me about gadgets and waves of sound that bounce here and there,
all
man,
right, hold
who do,
on.
how do I know? How do I know any of that's real or not? Or how do I know you're
Hold
understanding it
on.
right?
Okay,
You're talking about stuff.
why
You're talking
don't
about stuff
so if
here,
you
here. Stuff,
if you show me
Look,
a
you think,
picture of your if you show me a picture of your brain and let me touch it, I'll believe you have one. Do you see
well, you
what an
could,
idiotic argument
could.
that is?
No, it's not because somebody could cut into my head and show it to you, and you'd feel
Yes, they could,
inferior
but they
based
haven't
on
done it.
my
And
big
until
brain
they do,
compared to yours.
why should I believe you have a brain?
Because it can be done to other people, it can be done to me, it can be done to you. You're talking about some stuff that I can't, I have no way of knowing about. You're bringing up some technological stuff and gadgets, man. I have no idea. You
Yes,
don't have a good proof
which
there, man.
which
You're
is why you
you're trying
should
to razzle,
perhaps consider learning.
you're trying to razzle dazzle. You're trying to razzle dazzle with some stuff that
Why?
most
So
people don't know.
so there is this again. We're going to come back to the concept that
Any waves out there.
perhaps you lack
Now,
information. Perhaps you need to be educated. Perhaps you need to be educated. Perhaps you need to undertake the journey of learning, in which case you need to open yourself up to different forms of evidence rather than saying, I'm only going to learn something if it looks like this. How about you accept the various forms of evidence that exist? If your
all right,
child
well,
came up to you and said, look, I'm only going to believe in God if God comes down and performs a miracle, you'd slap your kid around the head and tell him, to wake up to himself, wouldn't you? Right? But that's exactly what you're doing with us. You're saying, I'm only going to believe if I see this particular form of evidence.
Vlad.
But you don't apply the same criteria to other things like God.
Hey, Vlad.
Tony, you
Vlad.
haven't convinced. Sorry, but you haven't convinced me, Tony. This
Vlad.
question. Yeah.
Vlad.
What
Vlad.
do you want
Look
me
at
to
the
say?
screen.
Yeah.
Vlad. Look at the screen.
It's a nice picture.
Okay. That's a
Bigfoot?
shot
Yeah.
from Discover One. Okay. That's a
Right, it looks
shot from
fake.
Discover One, and it's sped up
Looks fake.
120 times. It's rotating 120 times
fake.
faster than normal.
It's
It
fake.
looks fake to you,
Fake.
but you're assuming that you are the ultimate
man.
arbiter of what is or is not real, and you're not.
Well, are you?
I'm sorry.
Are you the ultimate arbiter?
No,
How about you? Are
no,
you the
I'm
ultimate
not.
arbiter?
No, I'm
So-
not the
so that's
ultimate
a
arbiter on
stalemate.
what is or is not fake.
So why are you telling me that, man? Tell it to yourself.
Because
that looks
because I am I am an arbiter on what is or is not a delusional belief system, because I am not delusional about
No,
what the
you are
shape of the
delusional.
earth is, and you are.
No,
Yeah,
you believe
Vlad,
in
what
something you've
is
never seen.
Vlad, hold on. You asked for this piece of evidence and I provided it for you.
Yeah,
Why are you
right,
so quick to
right,
like you haven't even looked into it to discredit it. You
right,
just
right,
immediately
right.
say it's not right. Now, why do you think that? Because this evidence, hey, look,
Okay,
this is full rotations of the earth. You know, this was
right.
a time lapse of a shot.
team,
Dude, you can go and look this
team,
at yourself.
right,
You can look at this
team,
yourself.
team,
What?
team. Can I talk? I'm gonna guess you're the team. When did you first figure out this stuff is fake, man? When did you first? When did you first know it? When did you
I
first know
don't.
it?
That doesn't even make
When did
sense
you
to me.
first
What do
realize?
you mean by that?
When did you when when did you
You at
first
hold on,
realize that Earth is a
Vlad,
globe?
Vlad, Vlad. Hold on, Vlad. You asked for the hold on. No, you asked for a satellite from
Right,
space videotaping
right,
the Earth
yeah.
rotating. Right? I'm
Okay, yeah,
showing
right.
you
No, well,
a hold on. I'm showing you a picture from space. Okay, a time lapse video from space that shows the Earth rotating. Okay, that's been sped up so that you can see the actual Earth rotating from that distance. Now you're telling me it's fake. So is any evidence that, okay, did you just ask for a piece of evidence that any piece of evidence I submit to match that criteria is automatically going to be deemed as fake by you? Is that what you're saying?
team, does that look real to you?
Yes. It
Yes.
looks as if it looks like what I would think it would look like if there was a satellite in space shooting pictures of the Earth and speeding that picture up, that video up. Yes.
You don't sound too confident, man. Good
Well,
intuition. I can hear in your
I
voice.
have to
That
explain
sounds too confident.
everything to you. No, no, no. I have to explain everything to you because if I showed you
Yeah,
just this alone and said this was the Earth rotating, the first thing you should say is the Earth is rotating too fast because it appears as though it's going to make several rotations, several different rotations over a 1 hour period of time, which this is one
yeah,
hour and it does. It makes several rotations. Look, there's Africa once,
right,
twice,
right, right. Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a reason for that,
three
but yeah, it does look a
times.
little fast. It does look a little fast.
4,
It does look a little fast. Why does it look
5,
fast, team? Why does it look
6.
fast, team?
He
Because
said, he
they
has
sped it
said
up.
3 times
Oh yeah.
that it
Okay.
is
All
sped
right.
up.
Hey, okay,
So,
team. I'll answer you right now.
you know, can I
Hold on.
can I just say,
Hold on. Make.
are you high? Are you drunk? Or is this your normal level of mental incapacity?
Listen, boy. Be quiet for a second. I want to answer the team because he asked me a
Boy,
question. I
boy,
can hear you
you
right now.
think you're older than I am? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you look like you're 100, but you might be younger. You might be younger than me. You
I'm
know.
I'm
How old are
I'm
you? I'm
I'm
50.
at
I'm 50. How old are
least
you?
32 million
Hey,
years old. At least 32 million years old. Great, you
hey,
have
50.
muscles. That's fantastic. Good for
All right, let me. Hey,
you.
team.
That is
Tell me
unrelated
about
to
this
your
guy
mental
on team.
capacity. You are either
Team,
drunk
why?
or high, or you are terminally stupid. You can pick which one it
Team, why?
is.
Why
Man,
what?
team. I thought it was just gonna be
Well, yeah, Tony's just an
boring
educated
on you.
person I thought to
Killing the
bring
show.
along, so it
Killing
wasn't
the
just
show.
my
He,
uneducated ass trying to tell you how things are. But
he's
Tony's
he's
handling you
killing the
But
well.
show.
No, Tony's
so
handling
are
He's
you well
killing the
you?
show,
actually.
man. Put me to
You?
sleep. Yeah, he's
I
putting me to
mean,
sleep. He's putting me
all
to
you
sleep.
do is giggle and all you do is
All
giggle,
right,
talk to yourself, and
All
then
right, let me.
bounce like
Okay.
an excited child
Vlad,
when you think you've made a point.
Vlad,
That's
I want
not
to
actually the actions of a sane adult.
Vlad,
And
I
you're
want to
doing
go.
it
Yeah.
again.
Okay, I want to go back to this picture right here, Vlad. Okay, because this
Yes.
picture
Yes.
is what you asked for. Now you cannot
Right.
say that I'm not presenting
Right.
you what you asked for. You
Right.
asked for this.
Right.
I've presented it. Now
Yes.
you say it's fake. How
Right.
do you know it's fake?
No, no, no. Okay, hold on, team. Maybe you're not understanding me, brother. What I'm saying, okay, this is perfect. What you got here. Now, to make it natural, to make it authentic, to make me believe in this, okay? Can you zoom in closer? What's so hard? Why would that cost $1 billion? He's saying cameras with. Okay, what's so hard? Zoom in so that I'm 500 feet above the surface. I'm seeing that globe spinning in real time, natural looking, authentic looking. I see things on the earth that I recognize. The Eiffel Tower goes by, the Egyptian pyramids go by, Statue of
Dude,
Liberty
do you know
goes
how?
by,
Hold on,
the World
no. Do
Trade
you
goes
know
by.
how small those things are? Do you know how
Why is that?
small those things are? Do you no?
Oh
Do you
my
know how
God,
small those
team,
things are? Yeah, the Eiffel
team,
Tower is
zoom
a
in.
very,
Okay,
very, very small monument compared to the size of the
team,
Earth. We're looking at. Hold on, we're
team,
looking at the entire Earth right now,
team. What's
like
wrong with
one
you, man?
half.
How, team, how come you can't understand what I'm saying? What's wrong with you?
Because what you're saying makes
What's
no
wrong?
May
fucking
I
sense whatsoever.
may I
Go
Team,
may I
ahead.
hold on, team.
respond to
You don't. Hold on, no,
may
no,
I,
no.
may I
Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, so the
You don't
problem
understand.
that you have is that light comes in discrete units. The smallest unit that light can come in is called a photon, right? And so there is a minimum resolution that a camera is capable of. There just aren't cameras that are big enough that have the focal length necessary to make out the detail that you want from the distance that that satellite is at. Okay? That satellite is really far from
Wrong.
Earth's surface.
We'll use one that's closer.
Okay,
You can
but
zoom
if you
into the
use
moon.
one that's so if you
You
use
can
one,
zoom into the
they
moon
exist. They're
with
called
2900.
surveillance satellites. They're
But
called
they don't.
Okay,
surveillance
use that.
satellites.
Yeah,
Use that.
but
Use
Vlad,
that.
when you get closer to the Earth, you then can't see an entire half of the Earth. You have to get a certain distance from the Earth to be able to see this amount of the Earth. You understand that, right? Like you put your face right up
Yeah,
against
yeah.
your car door, you
Right.
can't see your whole car. You can just see
Okay.
a certain portion of your car door. But the further you move back,
Right.
eventually
Right.
you'll be able to see
Right.
the whole car. This is what
For
we're
Right.
doing right
Right.
here.
yeah,
Why is it
because
telling team,
of
man?
the
Why was this kind of show, man? You guys should do a show. You don't need me. He's talking over me. You a minute ago. You're saying
Go ahead, Vlad.
Vlad.
Go ahead, Vlad.
That guy's talking. Okay. So, team, I understand what you're saying. How come you don't understand what I'm saying? You zoom in, use any satellite you want. Okay, I want to see, use one that's close, use a surveillance satellite. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, I didn't think of that. Surveillance satellite, where from that satellite we can see the whole globe, but it also, we can zoom in so that it appears, like you said, you put your face right up
Okay,
in the car.
so
It
let me
appears,
ask you a question. Let
so
me ask you a question.
hold on, hold on. We're
I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question though.
500 feet above. And when you show me that, I'll believe in the globe.
Okay,
I'll
so
see an
Vlad,
authentic, real thing.
you
Right
can't.
now, I'm seeing
Okay,
a CGI.
listen, Vlad, listen to me. You can't put a satellite right above the Earth's surface and leave it stationary relative to the Earth spinning. That just isn't how it works. Okay, you have to put those satellites have to be in what's called Lagrange points. All right, when you put a satellite in a Lagrange point, it can stay in that point and do everything it needs to from that point because it's like a gravitational well from the mass of the sun, the mass of the Earth, and I believe the mass of the moon. So that's what these satellites sit in Lagrange points. That's why they are so far away and they can see the entire one side of the Earth. Other satellites that can see a significant portion of one half of the Earth are closer to the Earth, but those are those are the geostationary satellites. Those are the satellites that stay directly above one point on the Earth. So as the Earth turns, so do the satellites. They just rotate around each other like that. The other satellite you have, the ones that are closer, those zoom around the Earth. They zoom in one rotation, like in space, it's a straight line, but the Earth turns underneath them. So to our perspective, it looks like it goes like this. Okay? So that's why when you're asking for cameras that can do things that cameras aren't designed to do. Exactly what Tony was talking about. We can't do what you
You
say.
got a
We
lot of
can't put.
excuses.
Yeah, but you can't put.
You can do everything but prove it. You got a lot of excuses there. You can
Vlad, I'm
propulsion
showing
movements.
you right
A lot of
fucking here.
excuses.
No, Vlad, I'm showing you right here. You asked for this picture. You asked for this observation. I presented it to you. The first thing you said without even looking into the observation was, "Oh, that's fake. That's fake."
Hey, homie, asked you for. When did I
With
ever ask you for that?
You asked for a picture of the Earth spinning from space. This is a picture of the Earth spinning from space.
But how
I
high?
can zoom
But how
in.
high above? How high above though? A million miles
Quite
away or 500 feet away?
There's
That's
exactly
not
what
what I
I was
asked
talking
for.
about earlier. You said 500 feet. There's, oh my God, what are you talking about? 500 feet. Like, that's not even outside
You
of the
understand?
atmosphere, Vlad.
The
God
Himawari
damn.
Team, what's
satellite is
wrong with you? Team,
36,000 kilometers.
maybe, but now we might need Tony. For some reason, you can't understand this simple thing I'm telling you, team. That's weird. Are you pretending you can't understand what I'm saying?
No, I
What's
Okay,
wrong with you,
understand, but
so
man?
it's
All
you're
right, you don't
wrong.
understand.
we
Man, I
have.
know how to explain more
Okay,
simple.
so
A 4-year-old can understand. A 4-year-old can
Hold
understand what
on.
I'm saying. You're pretending like you don't understand, team.
You want, yes, you
Unbelievable.
want a
we
satellite. You want you want a stationary satellite, one that's stationary above the Earth while the Earth rotates
Right,
underneath it,
right.
500
And
feet off of the surface. There
no,
is no
no, 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 no.
satellite 500
Oh my
feet off of
God.
the
Oh
surface.
my God. Oh
Okay,
my
go ahead,
God.
Tony. Go ahead,
I
Tony.
not the
okay.
satellite.
So I want to speak. You brought up the topic of 4-year-olds, Vlad, and you sound exactly like one. I want a unicorn, and I want it now. Well, you can't have a unicorn. Unicorns don't exist. But I want a unicorn. I want it now. This is pretty much exactly the conversation we're having. I want this evidence that the Earth is. Oh, he's pissed off. Well, good. So I'll keep on talking for the benefit of the audience. You know, this infantile foot stamping over I want this sort of evidence and I want it now. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe. Well, don't believe. See if we care. You want to live in the 12th century? Fine.
All
The
right,
rest of
so
us have better things to do.
people are saying in the chat that what he's trying to say is he wants a camera or a shot from a satellite that's zoomed in to as if we were 500 feet
Yeah.
off the surface, which
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to begin with.
No, it doesn't make any sense, and what he's asking for is completely physically impossible, and certainly certainly there's no there's you can
All right,
approximate what he's trying to get at, but it's just so
Vlad.
Vlad, you're behaving like a 4-year-old. You brought up 4-year-olds just before you stormed off to get yourself a beer, which I would humbly suggest you actually don't need. But what you're doing is you're stamping your foot and you're suggesting, I want this. I want this evidence or I'm not going to believe, which is exactly like a 4-year-old girl saying, I want a pet unicorn. Well, you can't have a pet unicorn, love. Unicorns don't exist. You can't have the satellite photos you're asking for, mate. The technology doesn't exist. So you can say, oh, well, a 4-year-old can understand it. Yes, a 4-year-old can understand the concept of wanting something that is physically impossible. What they don't understand is the argument that actually, what you're asking for is impossible. So how about you grow up and join the rest of us in the 21st century and acknowledge that there is a limit to what technology can achieve, and you don't really understand what that limit is.
Oh man, where do you find this guy, team? How do you know him?
Shit, he just bursted onto the scene and he's fucking shutting you
Yeah,
guys down one at a time. You're just another notch in PhD Tony's belt. You're just another name in his black book, bro. That's what he's gonna have, a black book of flirts that he's destroyed,
yeah,
and you're about to be a
take
new
my number
name
out. Take my number out of that black book.
But you understand what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
You understand what he's saying,
Well, look,
right? We don't have that technology.
Yeah.
Why are you asking for something that can't be given? I've given you what you've asked for. You say you want to be able to zoom in to where the camera appears to be about 500 feet off the surface, correct?
Right.
Okay, what does that even mean?
So,
like, there's no technology. We don't have that technology. So, no, we don't have that technology. So, how do you expect us to give you that picture?
Okay. So we have the technology to fly through to the moon and back. We have the technology to put satellites in various distances from Earth, even a million miles closer, further. We have technology to, with Hubble telescope, to take pictures of things that are like billions of light years away. We have technology for satellites to be propulsion through the vacuum of space, left, right, up, down, zigzag, forward, backward, reverse. We can
Mm-hmm.
do all that things, but it's impossible to do what I'm saying. Would make it look real. That's impossible. You
Right.
can't zoom in.
So
You can't get a
when you talk
camera.
about
You can't get a, hold on.
when
Let
you're
me
talking
finish.
about uh,
Let me
okay.
finish. Hold on. So you guys can do all that, but you can't zoom into the Earth and so that I can see the recognizable points on the Earth, zooming by 1,000 miles per hour. You can do everything with that. It's amazing. It makes no sense what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah,
It's a
there's no, we
story.
don't
It,
we don't have
it's like
cameras.
the
Okay.
guy
All
who.
right. All right. So let me ask you a
No,
question
it's
then,
not that
Vlad.
hard. What I'm
Let me ask
asking
you a
is not
question.
that hard.
Do you
What
Vlad,
I'm
listen, if
asking
you
is
take
not
a
that hard
camera,
to do.
if you
I'm
take
not
a
asking you to
camera
do
and
that.
you listen,
Then
listen,
do
if you
it
take a camera,
yourself, you useless sack of.
okay. So
Would you
if
say
I
more?
take a camera, if I take a camera and I just say I want to zoom in on this tiny ass little ant, right? And I zoom in with my camera as good as I can, and I get it perfectly in focus. And I say, well, shit, I can just move the camera 6 inches closer to the ant and put the ant right up on the lens, and then I'll be able to focus that. No, cameras aren't designed like that. If the lens isn't designed to turn around, like Hubble doesn't have a lens that's designed to turn around and take a picture of Earth and see people on it, for instance. Its lens is designed to take pictures of objects that are really, really, really far away. And it gets as much resolution as it can get out of that, but it doesn't work the same just turning it around and trying to take a picture of the Earth. That's what we're trying to say. We do not have a technology that gives us that type of resolution at that short of a distance.
You can't take a picture of an ant. You were saying up close
No,
what
that's
I'm
not what I
asking
was
is
saying.
easy.
Okay, put your finger right up to your eyeball and tell me that you can make out your finger better than you can with it 6 inches from your eye. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Can you?
so we don't have cameras.
Can no no
We
no.
don't have
Can you?
cameras
No,
in
no,
the
no.
eye.
Vlad, answer the question.
Give
Answer
it.
the
Give it.
question. And hold on, answer the question. Putting your finger right up to the lens of your eye, okay? Does that make you be able to see with better resolution the very tip, the skin on the tip of your finger? Yes or no? Or is it better if you pull
Well,
it about
yeah,
6 inches away and look at it about 6 inches away?
I don't know. You
What's
just said there's
clear?
such thing as
We can do a practical
surveillance
example.
satellites. There's
Is
surveillance
that
satellites.
clearer
Yes or no?
Go ahead,
or
Tony.
is this clearer? Is that clearer or is this clearer?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Which is clearer?
Put your pecker back in your pants, man.
But okay, but Vlad, do you not fucking understand what we're saying? Like when he puts his
Well,
finger up closer to the
you know,
camera, it is not clear just because you put your finger closer to the camera. That's not how
you,
cameras work. That's not how lenses work.
so there's no such thing as a surveillance camera in space.
Surveillance cameras are
Surveillance satellite.
not
Yes,
surveillance cameras are
yes, there
not at
is.
the height of
Go,
Himawari.
go with it. But
Well,
it's good.
but
It's,
let
no, it's
me,
good
but
enough.
let me
Go with a
again,
surveillance. Let me
again.
see the Earth moving. Let me
The
see the Earth
whole
moving with your
point,
surveillance camera.
the
Let me see the Earth
whole
moving.
point of a the whole point of a surveillance camera is to make
I'll
out
be right back.
detail, which you can't do if the velocity of the satellite relative to the ground is very high. And another passive aggressive leaving of the chair. He doesn't want to talk to me, which is entirely understandable. So, any questions from the chat? TP Seeker wants flurf evidence, which is a good call, but I don't think that this guy is really qualified to give any evidence. Oh, gosh. Am I being compared to Malcolm in the Middle? Because that would be extremely flattering. Vlad, oh, he's back. You two came back. You two are synchronized.
Sorry,
Wow.
I had to step away and
That's
take
okay.
a Riley real quick.
So,
all right.
Me too.
I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to repeat myself because
Oh, wait, I gotta go
Vlad
again.
left.
Go ahead, Tony.
Which is to say that, as was explained to you very recently, the whole point of surveillance satellites is to provide clear images of objects on Earth's surface. So having them move at high velocity relative to Earth's surface is actually counterproductive. So we don't do that with surveillance satellites. That's not what they're for. So they're actually moving at relatively slow velocities relative to Earth's surface. That's so that they remain useful. Because we spend a lot of money on them, and we want them to do what they're designed for.
What I'm putting forth is a simple thing. I'm not asking the satellite you turn it into a frog. I'm saying zoom in so that I see things going by with the rotation of Earth. Okay, you guys can't provide me with that evidence. I'm not convinced. So we can move to something else.
But Vlad,
you said it's impossible.
Listen. What is?
Say it's impossible. Fine. I'm saying it's nothing so hard about it. You haven't convinced me it's so hard. The satellites can propose. They have propulsion go back and forth. Why can't you get far enough away so I can see the globe, a big part of the globe, and then zoom in, and then let me see the pyramids.
Look on the screen. Look on the screen. No, Vlad. No,
Vlad.
You're the one. No, because listen. Because you're fucking being dumb. That's why. But exactly. Zoom into that. Exactly. Zoom. You're like zoom into that, right? What is that going to do? Okay, what is that going to do for you? This video is not in a high enough resolution. Hold on. You listen to me for a minute.
So get another satellite.
This video, no, that is not how it works. That is not how it works.
Yes, it is.
Yes, every satellite that you're asking for is going to be at this distance. Okay, and it's going to be a picture of the Earth looking like this, and it's going to be at most a resolution similar to this one. You can go Himawari 8 if you want, which has a little bit more resolution where you can, but Himawari 8 it's geostationary. It's over one portion of the Earth. It's over the same subsolar point or satellite point all the time. Okay, this one is not. Hold on, no. This one is no. No.
Hey, if it can do that, it can get closer. If it can do that, it can get closer. Period.
Yes, if it can get as close as I wanted to.
If it can do that, it can get closer. Okay?
Okay,
Period.
So Himawari 8, I believe is... Hold on, let me find the height of the Discover satellite.
It can get that close, but it can't get a little closer. Okay. It can get that close, but it can't get close enough to prove it's not a CGI. It can get that close, but it can't get a little closer and prove it's real.
Vlad, do you believe that surveillance satellites are real?
Oh my God, man, you're getting boring.
Do you believe that GPS satellites are real?
Look, Earth is not a globe. You haven't convinced me.
Do you believe that GPS satellites are real? The question is a yes or no one. Do you believe that GPS satellites are real?
Yeah, whatever they are,
GPS works on a flat Earth. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does, because Earth is flat.
No,
okay, so I work.
You can't. That's circular reasoning.
Well, if it didn't work, then it wouldn't work.
Would you care to be quiet while I'm speaking? I work alongside people who. I work. What you're doing is you're just trying to make communication difficult so you don't have to encounter any facts that might contradict your position. And that's okay. I understand what you're doing because
you're just talking. You're just talking. You're not showing me
Because,
anything. Prattle on.
okay, because the GPS in your phone works, right? The GPS in your
Or
phone
no,
works. Is that correct?
well, it works on a flat Earth. You hear me? Your ears okay?
No, it doesn't.
Works on a
No,
flat
no, it
Earth.
doesn't.
Huh?
No, I work
Yeah, it
with the
does.
people who wrote the software that is used to solve for the that is used to solve the GPS satellite locations. No, it doesn't work on a flat Earth.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Because if it didn't work, it
See how
wouldn't work.
grown up this
It would
is?
work.
What are you
Well,
basing your
you-
no on? I work with the people who do this. I have studied the same mathematics as them. I have worked on the same computer programs as they've worked on for
Were
different
you in
satellite
space?
missions.
Were you in space and you
No,
saw the ball Earth?
no,
Okay, so you don't know.
no.
He
So
doesn't
you
have to
don't
be in
know.
space. No, but he does not
Yeah,
have
he
to be in
does.
I
space,
Yeah,
don't
man. No,
have
that's
to be in
bullshit.
space to know
Never
that the
seen
Earth
it.
is round.
No, that's
No,
bullshit.
yeah,
No.
I
you
don't
don't.
Have
have
you
to see
okay?
something
it.
Have
to
you
know it
seen?
exists.
Do you believe that the Earth is flat,
can't prove.
Vlad? Vlad, do you believe the Earth is flat?
It appears to be.
Have you seen it?
Everything I look at is flat.
No, that's not the
Yeah,
question
what do
I
you mean,
asked
no?
for. Have you seen it?
Everything I've seen is
Have
flat.
you seen
I've
a
never seen
picture
anything
of the
round.
flat
Yeah,
Earth? Have you seen a picture of the
yeah,
flat Earth? Provide
yes.
it, please. Provide evidence
Any
that the Earth
picture.
is flat. No, you
Any
can't say
gold,
that.
any
Have you
picture.
seen a picture of the entire flat Earth
Your ears
from
work the entire.
up by the dome? Have you?
No,
No? You haven't
I
seen it?
haven't
Well,
seen
then
a
shut the
globe
fuck
either.
up about that. Then shut the
No,
fuck up
you
with that
shut the fuck up.
excuse.
You haven't
No, Tony can say
Tony,
that if he
Tony,
want. No,
Tony
Tony can
didn't
say
either.
that.
You
You
didn't see it
can't turn
either.
around. No, you can't turn around and say
You didn't see it
Tony
either.
can't use
You didn't
that
see it
because he
either.
hasn't seen it with his own eyes. Because then you turn around and say the same thing with yours, so you can't even hold that position for yourself. All right,
So,
go ahead, Tony.
Can I have
Well,
a
everything I've
question?
seen is
Can
flat.
I ask a
Everything I've
question?
never seen any curve. I haven't seen any curves.
Okay.
Everything I've seen was flat.
You haven't been to space, Vlad. Go ahead.
Do you believe that there exist things that you haven't seen?
How come you haven't been to space? How come you haven't
Because
been to
I'm not an
space?
astronaut. That's
Yeah,
why.
damn right.
believe-
Nobody is.
Do you
All right,
believe?
go ahead, Tony.
Do you believe that there exist things that you have not seen?
Don't ask me the little baby questions, man. I know where that's leading
Do
to.
you
So
believe
we have
that?
to go down that
Do
boring
you
road.
believe
Oh my
that there
God, man.
exist things you haven't seen? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
Yeah, you tell me, Einstein. Tell me. I never
Yes,
seen China,
you
but
believe
that
in-
doesn't exist.
You,
Oh, I
for
guess
instance,
so.
you believe you have a brain, despite the fact that you have never seen your brain. So obviously, you believe in
I'm
stuff
not
that you have
convinced.
not seen.
I'm not
I don't
fucking
think
convinced.
I remain.
I don't
So,
think he has no brain.
so the fact that you haven't seen the globe Earth is not actually proof that it doesn't exist.
Silly
You haven't seen
little boy argument.
Tierra del Fuego. You haven't seen Tasmania.
Oh, God, man.
You haven't seen the Kamchatka Peninsula. But you don't come to the conclusion that these places don't exist simply because you haven't seen them.
Yeah, Vlad, do you
So
believe
see,
that,
five-year-old-
hey,
not
Vlad, do you
right.
believe
Confirming that something exists.
Vlad, do you believe that England actually exists?
Oh, no, if I've never seen it, it doesn't exist.
No, but that's the argument
Right?
you're making, though. That is the argument that you're making. That's what we're trying to
That is
point
the
out. The
argument you're
ridiculous,
presenting. You're presenting
the
that argument as though it
ridiculousness
has
of your
some
argument.
sort
Okay,
of validity.
okay, look. So look, I can go there. And I've been there. I can go there, I've been there. It's possible. I can go scuba diving.
Yeah, it's possible
Okay.
for you to go to space.
Yeah, it's possible to go to the moon.
Impossible. No, it's not.
Humans have been to the moon. It's
No,
possible to go there.
That's
Okay,
that's a fairy
it's
tale.
possible.
That's a
It's
fairy tale.
possible for
It's not
humans to
true.
go to the moon.
It's not
Therefore,
true. It's not-
and
no,
humans
it's
have
not.
gone to the moon.
No,
Therefore, space
no.
is real,
You
and the
can't-
moon is.
You
is
can't
real.
go to the moon, boy. You can't go, boy.
We have
Until you
we have
and me
video
go,
proof of
ain't
man
real.
on the moon.
You attributing you adding "boy" to the end of sentences does not make them any more emphatic or factually correct. And I noticed that your behaviour has deteriorated markedly since your last beer, which suggests to me that perhaps you've had quite a few beers this evening.
Beers. You should have a beer too. You should have one. Mellow out a little.
Thank you.
He's like an angry woman. What are you drinking there?
I am drinking Coke, vanilla
He
Coke with no
reminds,
sugar.
I'm
he
having
reminds me of
Dr.
my
Pepper.
English teacher. He reminds me of my English teacher. No, but you had a cup.
I guarantee you, your
Not a
English
Yes.
teacher was
I
smarter than you were
poured.
as well.
You see,
He reminds me of
so,
English
so,
teacher.
so here I
He's like my
poured the
female
liquid
English.
from the bottle
He's
into the
proving.
glass.
He's proving. Not drinking alcohol. Good boy.
All right.
You're a good
So,
boy.
Vlad, do you realize the ridiculousness of your requests now? And why
No,
what
no,
I showed you
no,
was absolutely
listen.
on point.
What I'm
Okay,
asking
hold on.
for is very easy. If you know, it's nothing impossible. It's very easy to do. If you guys are able to do what you say you're able to, what I'm asking for should be easy as a piece of pie. But the fact that it doesn't exist, there's no real, authentic, natural-looking video of Earth from space, tells me it's a fairy tale. And you guys are fools for believing it. You believe in a CGI, in a fairy tale. I
Well, you're
believe
a
in the
fool
truth
for
and reality. You
no.
guys are very foolish.
You
You're
don't you
very
say truth
foolish.
and reality.
Very,
You
very
say
foolish.
truth and reality, but you have nothing to back that claim up. You cannot. All you can say is, "Oh, I go outside and it looks flat to me." That is the extent of your backup and extent of the evidence to support your claim. That's it, and that's fucking pathetic. Tony and I have extensive evidence to suggest that the Earth is not flat, that it's actually spherical in nature. Extensive evidence, not just evidence that like I could present that's others people's evidence, but evidence that Tony himself has gone out and attained and can present. What do you have to say about that?
You and Tony the Tiger haven't convinced me. Sorry.
I like that name, Tony the
Sorry to
Tiger,
break
baby.
Tony the Tiger. He's
Yeah.
like a tiger. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. You haven't convinced me. I'm here to be convinced.
Yes,
You know, it'd be easier to be a
yes,
globe
but
birther. It'd be easier.
But-
It'd be easier.
but that's
You know,
because so
easier.
just because but you're putting a lot of effort into not being convinced, and you've made it. You know, so there is abundant evidence that I can produce that shows that the Earth has to be spheroidal.
Listen,
It can't
I'm
be
a
flat.
skeptic. I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic. I'm
No,
a free thinker.
you're very selective.
along with it.
Actually,
You're not the skeptic.
you're very selective. You're really,
believe in the
really
growth just like you.
specific about what you.
Yeah,
You're-
you're a village.
so-
You're the village idiot. You're the village idiot.
so-
No,
You're
you
not a
are.
skeptic.
You guys
So,
are the fool.
yeah.
You are the fool. You're the fool who believes the story you've been told,
Okay,
something
can
you've
I-
never seen with your own eyes,
Can
with plenty
I?
of proofs to go against what you
Can
believe.
we bring up my?
You guys are the foolish
Can we
ones.
bring up?
Go ahead,
Can we
Tony.
bring up my YouTube presentation? The one with
Yeah,
the
will
10
you
proofs
send it to me?
I'll give you the link.
Yeah, send it
Yeah.
to me on Discord.
on Discord? Okay. So I did a video.
Hey,
I'll be
boy.
honest. I want to be
Little boy.
honest about something, though. I want to be honest about something. I called you the village idiot a moment ago, and I do want to say that I truly believe that you are a functional idiot, though. Okay, I don't think you're dysfunctional in any way. I think you're a functional idiot. I think you probably struggle with tying your shoes and talking on the phone at the same time, but individually, I think you're pretty good with each one individually. So I just want to clarify
Oh, I
that to
don't
people
think
in
you're
the crowd.
doing yourself any.
Listen, the village is full of guys like you, idiots. The free thinker, you guys look at me like the idiot, but the problem is you guys can't follow. You can't follow the thought process.
So,
You can't follow the skeptical thought process. You guys believe what you've been fed,
okay.
like a little baby. They feed you and you believe.
Okay, let me get you let me get this to you guys so y'all can hear it. 1 second. Let me just.
You don't need to be able to hear it because I'll be.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'll give it. But you know
Oh,
So
go ahead.
let me find out where I am. Okay. Yep.
All right, Vlad. Are you at least allow Tony to get through certain points, and he'll ask you questions, and we'll let you answer. Okay.
Hey, I came here to talk to you. I mean, get this boring guy.
But-
It's no fun, man. I thought you and me were gonna
Okay,
chop it up. Bring this guy, man.
So you.
You know
so
what? Why
well,
you cheer out,
think-
team? chickened out. You chickened out about this
It
morning.
wasn't about chickening out. I
Oh,
just
fun.
brought Tony on because I
Chickened
love
out.
having Tony around. He's awesome.
So,
Nobody
Vlad,
likes
I
having
just
Tony around.
so,
Hey, no
Go-
Tony around.
Go ahead, Tony.
Just
Go
killing
ahead,
the whole
Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
just jump to a minute in and
A minute in? Okay.
and pause there. Yeah. Yep. So this would be the first proof, right? Is the elevation angles to Polaris. Are you interested? Okay.
No.
Oh, the side.
Not in.
The elevation angle to Polaris. Okay. You can if you can measure the angle to Polaris. If the Earth were flat, you'd be able to use those angles to work out how high Polaris is. You get different answers from different points on Earth. Therefore, the assumption that the Earth is flat is wrong. Go to about
Those are some nice. Those are some nice drawings. Those are some nice pictures.
Sorry,
Tony.
go to 5 minutes in.
Did you draw those yourself?
Dude,
Some nice pictures.
Hold on. Do you understand why this evidence suggests that the Earth is not flat with a fixed sun at a certain distance that's close to the surface of the Earth? Do you understand that?
Listen, yeah. What I understand is what you're proving is that the sun is close and small. So if you're on different points of the flat Earth, the angle changes. Thank you for proving flat Earth. Next question.
No, you're exactly wrong.
Yes.
That's you're exactly
100%
wrong.
right.
Okay.
100% right. I'm 100% right. And even that picture.
You're 100% an idiot. Okay.
Strip.
Hold on
Even
one
the
second.
green strip is not. You're the idiot. I'm the genius. And Tony the Tiger is the idiot also.
Okay.
I'm the genius here. You guys were the idiots. Remember that.
All right. So if you want to solve for H, okay. So basically in this picture right here, he's saying to solve for H at the 67.5 degrees with 2,500 kilometer base, okay, would give you a height of 6,035.5 kilometers, okay, of the sun. At 45 degrees, you have 5,000 kilometer base. Therefore, tangent of 45 is 1. 1 times 5,000 is 5,000. That's H, okay? So H is different depending upon where you're taking from what the measurement is going to be on the surface of the Earth, how far away from the North Pole you are. There is no consistency to the height of the sun when you make measurements from the surface of the Earth, if you assume that the sun is small and local. That's what we're saying at this one picture. Now, how do you address that?
Well, the way the sun moves, it moves around the viewer subjectively. Something like a rainbow. You can't get on the side of a rainbow. Yeah, this new stuff. You haven't heard all the other ways of looking at things. You know?
Okay, so hold on. Let's break this down a little bit, one part at a time. Vlad, one part at a time. The sun moves around in a circle. Are you saying that? Let's agree or disagree that that's what you're saying.
I don't agree with the flat Earth model. The way the sun, not all parts of it. I don't agree with that. With all of it, and a lot of it doesn't work for me. The way the sun circles,
it doesn't work for any flat Earth. That's the problem. Okay, so
it doesn't work.
How does the sun? How does the sun move across the flat Earth? Is it going around in a circle?
I would say it's more like it orbits over the flat Earth, over and under.
Okay. Does it make a circle? Does it make a circle? Does it make a straight line? Or does it make some odd sine wave? What is the path that it takes? Know, because this is the model that you're putting forward. No, this is the model you're putting forward. Okay, so let's hold on. Let's think about it like this on the equinoxes. Huh?
I was just asking, he's saying, how should I know? He's the genius here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay. You don't know either. You don't know what the sun is either.
Hold on, Vlad, hold on, Vlad, listen, Vlad, listen, okay? Listen, Vlad, listen,
Vlad. Only God knows.
Vlad, calm down, relax.
You know the shadow of the moon is only 7 feet wide.
Take a breath.
The shadow of the moon. The shadow of the moon is only 70 miles wide. That's a cool thing to talk about. That's what we can look at with our own eyes. Well, you guys
that's wrong.
It's true. And you can look at it with your own eyes.
Do you know? No,
Weather
that is the
balloon footage
Umbra.
of the
The
eclipse from
Umbra.
2018. Oh
The
no, my friend,
Umbra.
it's not out of
Listen,
focus. Nope. Sorry, pal.
Vlad.
It's
Okay, I'm sorry, Vlad. I had to mute you so I could get this out. The Umbra is 70 miles wide. The Penumbra is very much wider than 70 miles and can encompass entire continents. Okay, so get your terminology right. All right, the Umbra is 70 miles wide. The Penumbra is much longer or much larger.
Okay.
Am I off mute?
Team,
Yeah, go ahead.
team,
Well,
I shared
Tony
another
off the-
clip
can
with
you get Tony off-
go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
I shared another clip with you on Discord. It's footage from the Gemini mission of
His volume
1965,
just went up.
Okay.
and I'd
one
like
second.
to.
Go ahead.
That tin can.
So,
The tin can went around the.
so go to 513.
And nobody's inside. Guy pretending to do something there. What are they looking at those screens? All those smart guys. Let's see. Oh my God.
So this was made in 1965, Vlad. Is it CGI?
Yeah, how's he moving his neck? How's he moving his neck around? That thing's supposed to be.
No, that's the question.
Someone just brought this up the other day. Let me tell you.
That's the question. The question is this CGI?
Does that look real to
You can see the vessel moving with respect to the clouds underneath.
It's falling
Is this
apart.
CGI?
It is not real imagery at all. Completely
How do you
fake.
know? How do you know?
Completely.
Generated.
Well, look, I was just talking about this with another guy not too long ago. That helmet, right there, thank you. That helmet is supposed to be part of the suit, yet it swivels around when he turns his head. Okay? You can't have that.
The Mercury suit had,
That proves it right there.
Mercury suit had swiveling helmets.
No,
The
no,
Mercury
no, they
suit had
Not that one.
swiveling helmets.
no, not how. It would lose. How's it gonna? How the
Mercury
heck's it gonna
space mission.
swivel
I'm
and keep
going
the
to
vacuum
keep on
out?
saying this, and you're not going to be able to drown me out. The Mercury
about that
mission
later.
spacesuit had swiveling helmets.
No, it didn't.
Yes,
And it come back.
you can
No,
look it up.
no. How do you keep the vacuum out if it's swiveling around like that? It's swiveling
With
around.
engineering,
How are you gonna do it?
it's engineering. It's the
You
same
should be yourself.
engineering that goes into
It's not
making your
possible.
hand.
It's gotta be one piece.
You
It's gotta
see
be
how
one
hands
piece. You
swivel?
can have a.
No,
but I'm not keeping a vacuum. I'm not trying to keep out the vacuum. I'm not trying to keep out the vacuum, man.
Like,
Looks like
I'm trying
garbage.
to find a.
you're
It's
claiming
completely
that this is CGI from 1965. Is this your
Whatever
claim?
it is, they had special effects
They
back then.
can't
too,
have
man.
had
Look,
CGI in
look,
1965.
No, they
Hey,
didn't. Vlad. No, they didn't. Okay, they didn't have CGI to this level in 1965. If you're making that claim,
Look,
you would need to show
listen.
some support of that claim. Do
It-
you have
it
evidence?
looks just like
Do you have
Planet-
evidence anywhere else, independent evidence that shows in 1965 they had this level of CGI?
Look, I'm not saying it's CGI, but it looks just like any sci-fi movie from that era. It's just like that's my point.
No, it fucking
That looks like
doesn't.
the level of- Yeah, it does.
Go and look at the planet. It looks nothing like this.
It looks like Space Odyssey 2001. Planet of the Apes. It looks like Planet of the Apes, man. It looks like any sci-fi movie from that era. Hey, man, it looks
how
just like
old
any
are you?
sci-fi movie from that era.
Have you ever seen a
I
1960s
told you.
science fiction?
It looks just like the movies did from that era.
Name a
It's
1960s
bad.
science
Look,
fiction
it
film.
looks cheesy.
Yeah, they had a
Name
swivel
one.
helmet
Name a
there.
1965.
Vlad.
Hey, Genius, look how fake. That looks like claymation or something. That looks like the Godzilla. Yeah. How dumb are you guys, man?
That's
You can't see
1965
how funny that
technology.
looks?
Vlad, that's 1965 technology. Why do you expect it to be? Hold on. Why do you expect it to be the quality of the 2000, 2010s,
Right.
2020s? Why do you expect that to be the same quality that was in 1965? Why?
Right. No, I'm saying I don't. I'm not saying I expect to be the same quality like today.
Then
That
how
looks
do
like
you
the
think that?
movies
Why
back
looks
then.
look? Hey, how something looks to an ignorant ass fool is not necessarily descriptive, a proper description of what's going on in reality. You're ignorant to what's going on. You have a
No,
conclusion that you
no,
want to
no,
fulfill, that the Earth is flat. Therefore, this must be fake.
no.
I'm not asking for you to
It
validate
looks
your
like the
own
movies.
dumbass opinions.
Look, only a dummy can see that that's fake. That looks just like the movies they used to make in those days. Compare that to the one with
No.
Sandra Bullock when she
Hold on.
Gravity. Hey, that movie
What?
Gravity. The movie
When did
Gravity
Gravity
looks
come
like the
out,
eye.
Vlad? Vlad, when did Gravity come out?
That's what
When
I'm
did
saying.
Gravity come out? Vlad, when
Dude,
did
that's what I'm
Gravity
saying.
come out? Vlad, when did Gravity come out?
What I'm saying is, okay, let me answer you.
This came
What
out
I'm
in
saying is the level.
1965.
Oh my God. Right. And it looks like 1965 special effects. Jeez.
No, it doesn't. Show me special effects from 1965 that were this good. Give me one example.
Pull up
I'll
any
look it
movie.
up. Oh my
Pull
God,
one
pull up
up.
any movie. You're fucking
find
kidding me,
one.
right?
Go find a
No, I'm
film
not
from
kidding you. Pull it up.
1965. Go find
Yeah,
one.
with space in it. Yeah. It's going to
Yeah,
look just
go
like
find
that.
one. Go find one with space in it and show us how it looks.
Hold on,
Because
I'm about to
Gravity
pull
looks
one
more
up.
real than that. Pull one up.
Hold on.
Yeah, it looks
I've seen some of
the
these
background
where
looks
they.
totally
Hold on. No.
background is superimposed across the background. It's probably in water. I'll tell you what it is. He's in water filming. They're filming underwater and they superimpose that phony background. That's exactly what it is. Next question.
Hold on. No, we're not. We're gonna pull this.
He's in the under. He's. It looks like that Tesla car, the cherry red roadster. It looks like the cherry.
What about that thing that falls through the frame? That's moving
It
through
looks,
water.
looks like they lost a piece, man.
It's about to happen now. I think they're about to get a piece that.
What the hell broke off there, man? That looked like that looked kind of serious, man. A big piece of it broke off. Do they need that piece? Do they need that piece that broke off? What was it? How they make it without that piece? Was that the door? What the hell fell off?
I'm trying to find you. Do you want special effects from the 60s or do you want space movies from the 60s? Because there's the space movies from the 60s have no special effects in them whatsoever. I'm looking at it right now.
Team. This was shot underwater, probably, and then they superimposed the background.
Why do you think it was shot underwater? Why do you think it was shot underwater?
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, but you don't see any water there.
What it is.
So your assertion,
we've seen bubbles. We've seen bubbles in these too. We've seen these with bubbles.
We've seen
these with bubbles.
Go ahead, Tony.
So basically, he's just here to assert. Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing to support anything Vlad says right now. It's just all.
Show me something real.
To me, it is. To me, it is.
Hey, look. With this right here, from this height, how come they can't zoom into the Earth and show the dang pyramids, Eiffel Tower, swooping by, just like I was saying. Why would that be so? You were saying it was impossible, team, and Tony the Tiger. But from right here, if they could do this in 1965, with this camera, you tell me you can put I can put a D900 this high up, zoom in so that it appears to be 500 feet above the Earth, and I can watch the Grand Canyon go by, watch the Leaning Tower of Pizza go by. I can watch the pyramids go by. I can see the Eiffel Tower go by.
Easy. Why don't you do it?
Well, because it's impossible.
So easy, why do you not do it?
In space.
You can buy
you guys are up in space.
Microsatellite. You can buy a microsatellite for $1,200. You can put it into orbit for a little more, relatively.
Really?
You design
it. Where do I get a microsatellite?
We are not interested.
Vlad.
Hold on.
Vlad.
Hold on,
listen.
No.
Look. This was the pyramids.
He said I can get a microsatellite
captured from space. Hold on.
Hold on. I want to get a microsatellite. He was telling me to get a microsatellite. How do I do that?
Well, then go get one.
Tiger?
Google.com.
Tony the Tiger.
Try googling microsatellite. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you
You said I could buy it.
googling?
You're saying I could buy
microsatellite?
it. You're saying
Okay.
I could purchase a micro satellite? It's amazing. How do I get it in space? With a rocket? How do I do that?
That's your own
Never
problem.
get one.
That's your
But
problem.
they say the satellite without the propulsion system. How do you get?
Yep.
What do you do with the satellite? Well, how the hell do you get the satellite where it's supposed to be? Tony? How do you get it up there?
It's placed
How?
there by the transportation system.
Okay.
Who provides? Hold on. Who provides the transportation system, Tony? When I buy my
Whichever
micro satellite,
your agency you pay to do that.
give me one. Give me the name of one.
SpaceX.
European Space Agency.
Blue Origin.
I can call which. I can call Blue or they don't answer the phone. I've tried calling.
Yeah, they probably have you on block. All right. You said you wanted pictures of monuments from space. This was
Point
listen.
Vlad. Point
Look,
Vlad right there.
Vlad.
Point Vlad. I like that.
Look. Look. Astronaut in space
The only
takes this
point you
picture.
have, Vlad, is on the top of your head.
Vlad, look. They captured a picture
got
of the
more hair than
pyramids.
more
Vlad,
hair
a
than you,
person.
the tiger.
Vlad,
Yeah.
listen. A person. An actual person captured this photo
Yeah.
from space.
Right.
This wasn't a satellite
Right.
capture. It wasn't anything.
Right.
It was an actual person that captured this photo. How did he
Okay,
capture
one
this
thing.
photo?
For one thing, okay, that doesn't look that high to me. How high is it? Did he zoom in? That's not that high.
Oh
Look at
my god!
For something
How high
that
is
looked
it?
like it was 500 feet off the ground, and then it doesn't look that high. You are
Come
Come
a
on,
fucking
Vlad. Yeah, you're a
not
fucking
moving.
idiot, Vlad. Yeah, it is. He was
You're
moving when
an idiot.
It's a picture.
You're
It's
an
not a
idiot.
video. It's a picture. He
No.
snapped a picture as he was flying around. Look, here's the fucking video right here of him doing it. He is in space. That is not a fucking in water. You would
He's in
see.
a
You would
swimming
notice
pool.
it.
He's in a swimming
No,
pool.
you would
Okay,
notice
let
it.
me
No.
see him.
Nope, you would notice
see
the
the action.
refractive effects. Hold on, you would notice the refractive effects of his face going from
Alright.
the medium of air into the glass into a medium of water. You would notice those refractive effects, okay? So no,
Okay,
you're not going to get
show
away
me
with
what.
that. You're not going to get away with that.
Show me
He's
what.
not in water. He's not in water.
The
Show
installation
me.
of the lights would be different.
Okay, show me what is he doing? Show me what does he do? What are
He's
you
on the
trying to show me?
outside of the fucking ISS, man. The point of the video of him and what he's doing is not the purpose of why
No
I showed you
stars.
this.
No,
Oh
no
my god,
stars. Why
Vlad,
there no stars?
Vlad. Because
stars.
for the exact reasons
Yes.
that there shouldn't be any stars. But here's the picture that he snapped
Because
from
the camera's
space.
not going to
stars?
pick up light sources that faint. The camera is not going to pick up light sources that faint while there is something that bright close to it. Right?
Do you know how
That's
exposure
story.
works?
Man,
Heard that story,
bright
Tony.
suit in the
that
middle
story,
of a
Tony the
bright
Tiger.
light, right next to the. Go talk to a photographer and ask them. Obviously,
Yeah.
you don't
Making plenty of people.
listen to a word
You don't know
we
what you're
say,
about.
but how about you talk to somebody who has some technical skills and perhaps fucking learn something from them? Because right now
Tony the Tiger.
you are just putting up random. I don't want to learn. I don't want to hear it. Nah, 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 nah. You're going back to 4-year-old mode, and
Tony,
the amount of
go take a
alcohol
break,
you
Tony.
consume makes you think that you're being funny.
One
You're not.
beer.
You're
One
not
beer.
being funny.
Tony.
You're not being clever. You're just being
Hey,
a
Tony.
dick. And you're doing it
corner,
in front
boy.
of how
You've
many
been a naughty
hundred
boy.
people?
You've been a naughty boy. You got a dirty mouth, boy. Go stand in the corner.
500
dirty
people
mouth.
are watching you be an infantile dick in public.
That's what you
So,
like. But
you
don't
know,
talk about what you like. He keeps talking about the male phallus. Why you keep talking about that? You like those?
Because you remind
You like-
me
no,
of one.
you like-
Yeah, you remind us of one.
Everything reminds
Every
you of
time
that.
I see your face, I think
Everything you look
dick.
at.
Yep, I think
That's what you
eggplant.
Every time I see your face, I
No, but-
think dick.
But when I see your, when I see-
Actually, that's the first thing, and then I think syphilis. Okay, that's the second thing. In my With you, I think dick, syphilis. Those are the two thoughts that are
COVID-19.
intimately related.
Syphilis.
Hey,
And then
you look like You look like you have
explain
COVID-19,
what
Humpty
happened
Dumpty.
to your
You look like Humpty
intellectuality.
Dumpty with
It might
COVID-19.
explain why you're no
You look
longer
like a
coherent
gray-haired old
and why
Humpty
you've
Dumpty.
descended into paranoid ramblings.
Boring and nobody
Okay,
likes you.
okay,
You
guys,
messed up
okay.
the whole
All
show.
right,
You're bald, Humpty
all
Dumpty,
right.
old ass
The
Oh, I'm
fool.
general
bald? Oh my God! When did that happen?
last night.
Hey, you both.
Idiot.
Hey, you're
Okay.
old, bald, gray-haired, Humpty Dumpty,
Oh, I'm
ugly-looking,
old.
out-of-shape
Jesus,
guy.
All right,
I
You're
so
close
didn't
to
know
death.
that either.
You're not
Because
going to live
I
much
can't
longer.
because
You're not
I'm a
going to live
flat
much longer.
earther.
How much-
all right. You're not a doctor, Vlad. We're not sure if you are in a position to gauge how close he is to death. But
That
let's
was
see.
an attempted insult.
All right,
Close to death.
That
but
was an attempted insult, really.
Listen, you better get right with the Lord.
okay.
You
So
gotta
here's what we're
need to
gonna
work
do.
out, homie.
I'm gonna stop it there, and I'm gonna do some super chats, and I'm sure that some of these are gonna be directed to you, and I'll give you an opportunity to answer any one of them in any way that you want to. Okay? So give me 1 second. Let me get up to where we left off. earlier.
God, he's smiling. He's gonna have a nervous breakdown. He's gonna have a nervous breakdown a minute ago. Now he's having fun. He's finally having fun.
All right, so we got a new member for the Rage Dingers, Disco Scotty. Thank you so much for becoming a member. You can now use all these cool emojis, including, but not limited to, Nathan Thompson in jail, the 5-star, 4-star general, Team Skeptic and a Mankini, both dumpster fire emojis, and as always, the infamous meat tube. Let's see, as soon as it gives me the opportunity to post them, I will. It's so weird when I do it through the YouTube Creator Studio, it takes forever for it to register everything I'm typing. All right, thank you very much, Disco Scotty. Welcome to the club. Robert Williams for $1.99. Vlad the Brain Impaled. Is your brain impaled there, Vlad?
He's wandered off.
Oh, okay, I didn't see him. All right, good deal. Digital Demonic Davros for $5 Aussie. Flat Earth died when Spurs committed to the Gleason's AE map. Please ask Vlad, what the fuck? Vlad, are you back? No, I'll ask him here in a second. Let me get this moved over. Oh, whoops. I guess I turned off my... I'm hearing my fireplace in my head now. Okay, fix that problem.
Hey, team.
Yeah.
Team, you there? I'm gonna
Yeah.
bounce, man. That was a good.
Oh.
That was a good
Hey,
round.
yeah,
Round, you know.
Yeah, Vlad, I had a good time, man. As always, I actually don't mind you so much. I enjoy your your enthusiasm into this topic, and your ability to throw punches and take them as well. So, thank you for coming on
Hey,
tonight.
God bless you guys. Thank you too. I enjoy both you guys, man. God bless you both, man. Nothing but fun. You know, it's fun. It reminds me back in the when we were in school, we used to bag on each other. You know, those are always good
Yeah.
times. So we keep it going, and we get to it's kind of it's a debate. You know, things get a little rough sometimes, but I'm not convinced yet. It'd be nice to be on your side. Things would be easier for me. You know, be easier.
Hey,
People think
all
I'm
you
weird.
have to do is open your eyes and accept the fact that you hold on. All you have to do is open your eyes and accept the fact that you could have been wrong in the past. It's one of the hardest things for us as grown men to be able to just say, "Hey, we were wrong, but you're wrong."
Right.
And I'm here to help you.
Same goes
I'm
for
here
you
to help
guys.
you.
Same goes for you guys, man. Same for you. You might be wrong.
All right, man.
No way
Well,
I'm
take
wrong.
care.
All right, guys.
Whatever. We'll cover that
Tony.
next time.
All right, Tony, man. Hey, Tony was good,
Okay,
man.
take care.
Tony's a top.
Take care, Vlad.
Okay, Tony. Thanks,
I want
brother.
to say,
All right, brother.
I want to say something quickly. Vlad, I respect your religion, and I respect your dedication to it. But you know, I think you're a good human guy. But you just need to open your. I don't think that the shape of the earth has anything to do with Christ's message. Christ's message and the validity of it unrelated to the shape of the Earth, I think. So
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Something we could agree with, Tony. I agree with you. I agree with you. This is just
Okay.
fun. It's fun. It's fun talking about this
Okay.
stuff. All right, Tony. I hope I was here long enough, man. I'm gonna burn out. I want to spend some time with my family, man. We got some friends over, and I'm.
Hey,
We've been at it for a while.
Okay.
We got
I
nowhere.
encourage
Yep.
We accomplished
Absolutely.
nothing. We got nowhere, and hey, we'll do it again sometimes.
All right, man. Yeah.
All right.
We'll do it again.
All right. Bye. All right. Good
Okay,
night, guys.
bye.
God bless. Bye.
All right. And Tony, thanks for sticking around, man. You got some time to run through these super chats with me?
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
I just need to take a Riley. I'll be back in just a moment.
All right. God, we've made that such a meme. Like, he'll never get away from it. All right, Digital Demonic Davros for $5 Aussie. Oh, I read this one. Flat Earth died when Spurs committed to the Gleason's AE map. Please ask Vlad what the fuck. I tried to work that in there, Davros, when he was talking about his when he was talking about the shape of the Earth, and I asked him to commit to being a flat earther, and he said yeah. And then I was going to ask him about the map, because I was going to point out that on the maps, any map he chooses, the Earth has to move around in a circle, and not in a not in a straight line like we see on the equinoxes. That's all I was about to bring up, was that equinox observation, but it was based on your on what you said with your super chat. So thank you very much for that. And let me put Tony in the right place now. Give Vlad off screen. Not trying to make all the ladies out there puke in their mouth when they come to the stream. All right.
It's actually it's actually a bit it's a bit of a shame that he left so abruptly, because I was going to bring up God's auditor's point, which was that he could set up a sheet in his backyard and then buy a surveillance satellite image of his backyard, so he could confirm that the surveillance satellite was imaging his backyard. I thought that was a good point. He can do that He can do that from his phone.
I'm sure that would scare the shit out of him and other flat earthers to see that they could take the pictures of their backyard from space. Tim Pryor for $5. There's a channel called Cinema Sins. He has 7 million subscribers, and that's just one channel. Think about it. Flat Earth is not growing whatsoever. Yeah, you're right. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Cinema Sins. I thought about doing a similar thing to theirs called Science Sins, and doing like the going through television shows and breaking down their bad science. Sometimes they just write science for drama purposes, and it frustrates. The one that got me so bad, and I hate it because I love the show, was Lost in Space, the newest Lost in Space. I really, really, really enjoyed that show. I mean, they got a lot right, but they had things like being within, one astronomical unit, let's say, of a black hole, of a decently sized black hole. That's not going to happen. Just the radiation coming off of it alone would fry any planet. And they show this planet going, it does cycles. It goes through, it gets too close to the black hole, gets torn up, and then it gets far enough away to condense back up. And plants grow on it for whatever reason, like when it condenses back up, like it doesn't have to worry about the atmosphere condensing back onto the ball, or the whole process of reforming back into a planet, or anything like that.
Thermal energy released in the process of being torn apart by gravity and reconstituted.
Yeah, right. But the one thing that I knew I was in for a science sin when like in the very first show, they get flung across the galaxy, or the universe, I guess, and she says, "We're trillions of light years away from where we need to be." And I was like, "Oh, you're trillions of light years away." The observable universe is only 96
It's
million or 96
96, yeah.
billion light years. That we're talking about orders of magnitude greater than that. So first off,
Yep.
fine. Nobody's saying that there's not solar systems and stars and everything trillions of light years away. But how would they know? The light hasn't had time to get to them. So even if they did somehow find themselves over there, they wouldn't even be able to look back in the direction they came from. If they even knew which direction they came from, they wouldn't even be able to look back in that direction and see light coming from their home planet. It simply hadn't had time.
Yep.
It wouldn't have time. It would be a long time before that light ever got to them. Not to mention with the expansion of
Yep.
space, it just would never get to them. And that's, but when they said that, I was like, God, I love the original Lost in Space, and I'm gonna watch it because I'm a science nerd. I'm gonna watch it.
Hmm.
But God, you just destroyed my hopes and dreams with that one line. And then, of course, when she was like out, I think she took herself up in like some kind of weather balloon to observe the black hole, or to observe whatever
Yeah,
the
okay.
phenomenon was. And I was just like, no. First off, you can't just write a black hole into the show and say, oh yeah, by the way, this planet is orbiting a black hole close enough to destroy the planet and allow the planet to come back to life cyclically, like once per year, once per revolution around the black hole. So I did think about doing a science sens one time, but thank you, Tim Pryor, appreciate that. Excuse me. Bella Charge for $5 New Zealand. Team works hard to be that ugly. Yeah, right. Lest his looks is better than your IQ. At least his looks are better than your IQ, Vlad. That is true. That is true. I can still go out and talk to women even with my horrible looks. That's because I have a great IQ. Robert Gassman for $5. Team Skeptic smoking the dank. Yeah, not tonight, unfortunately, but on most occasions, I try to stay enlightened a little bit. Helps me deal with fucktards like Vlad. All right, Bella Charge for $5 New Zealand. He knows a fire was found due to the satellite, right? The fire would have wiped out villages if it wasn't seen. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to bring that up, but he just doesn't. I mean, it's just like asking for gravity on Earth. Show me water sticking to a ball. Well, I can't do that here. Well, then there's no gravity. Well, I can't do it because of gravity.
Yeah.
I can't do it because of the gravity. Well, we can't turn the Hubble around and look back at Earth and see the Eiffel Tower. That's not how that works.
Yep.
Where's fight with that?
Yeah.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
They do have a talent, though, for asking for conceptually simple things, and then just being appalled by the fact that actually, in reality, that's not how things work. But
Yeah.
like I say, it's like asking for unicorns, and we kind of know that we need to tell 4-year-olds when they ask for that sort of thing, and we should take the same attitude with flat earthers, I think.
Yeah, so, but the problem with flat Earth is that, let's say they go, give me a unicorn. And they ask you that because they know it doesn't exist. Or at least,
Yeah.
let's assume for the moment that they believe that it doesn't exist. And you whip out of your asshole a goddamn unicorn. And guess what they say?
Yep.
Unicorns don't exist. That's fake. That's fake. Then why the fuck do you ask for a fucking unicorn? That's what I say about when they say show me water sticking to a ball. It's like, could you imagine the uproar flat earth would have if I like grabbed a beach ball right now and I poured water onto it and it gravitationally stuck to the beach ball? Flat earthers would flip the, they would say, oh, Earth is not pulling the water. He just showed an experiment that water sticking to a ball instead of sticking to the earth. If there's no win with that experiment. You either say
there is no win.
I can't do it because of gravity, and they say, ha, there you go, gravity. Or it's you do it, and they go, ha, I knew gravity was all a lie, and you just proved it. All right, let's see. Robert Williams for 499. The problem with that, 1080p resolution capturing 8,000 miles by 8,000 miles. Each pixel is at least 4 miles wide. Go to 4K, each pixel is 2 miles wide. Exactly. I think somebody was telling me about. I asked the question in one of the last couple of streams what the resolution of Himawari was, and somebody said it was like half a kilometer. That's the best they can see is one entire half of a kilometer. That's one pixel. Anything smaller than half a kilometer is going to just look like a smudge. It's going to be
And
everything in that area
that
is going to be combined into one block. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, that's assuming that atmospheric conditions are good. Because
Yeah, right.
you're obviously taking the photo through the bulk of the atmosphere, all of which has vapor, thermal effects, various distortions, and convolutions of the light paths. So it's just it's a mess. That's why we put Hubble up there in the first place. Is that we didn't want to be looking through the atmosphere,
Yeah.
because it's a pain in the ass to look through. So it's just what they're asking for is a bunch of nonsense.
Oh yeah. All right, Disco Scotty. For $10, there's a regular live stream from the ISS that looks absolutely natural. It's exactly what you should expect to see when you're that high above the planet. All right, so yeah, Disco. So you're 100% right, and I will agree with you. And actually, when you're talking about showing rotation of the planet, it actually does show rotation because the planet is rotating, right? So if the ISS is filming the planet rotating, even if it's traveling faster, it's still filming the planet rotating. It's like saying, you drive by a car that's going 30 miles an hour in one direction, you film that car as you drive by at 60 miles an hour. It might look like that car is in place because you're driving faster than the car, but the car itself is actually moving. It would be, if the car was physically stuck in place, you would have a different view of, what you're seeing. So, because the Earth is actually continuously rotating, but that's not really what they're asking for. What they're asking for is something like Discover 1 at the height of the ISS. And there's nothing like that out there. There's no way to keep something that close to the Earth in one. I mean, I guess you could, but it would take so much energy to fight the initial momentum you have to get it to stop in place. And then you would always constantly have to make adjustments on it. I mean, they have to make adjustments in the Lagrangian satellites, but it's so much less of an adjustment because of the gravitational well that it's sitting in.
Yeah, well, just because of the way the Lagrange points work. But yeah, what he's asking for, when I think technically we do have the capacity to do. It's just eye-wateringly expensive in order to prove something that we already know. So, he basically wants billions of dollars thrown at a program to convince him and his mates.
Yeah.
Actually, we've got better uses for that money, mate.
The fake COVID, right? That's what we got. We could be putting our money towards perpetuating an even bigger lie than the whole world is dealing with a pandemic. Okay, Christ Puncher for $5 Canadian. NASA and every other space agency doesn't care about proving the globe to a couple of confused losers on the internet. God, you nailed it on the fucking head, Christ Puncher. It's exactly what Tony said. If we're going to invest that amount of money, we need to make sure that there's some kind of science coming back out of it, not just proving that the Earth is not flat to a bunch of flat earthers. Yeah, I mean, you have people like Tony, myself, Fight the Flat Earth, Dan, Conspiracy Cats. You have all of us to do that for NASA. NASA just needs to focus on getting us back to the moon and on to Mars next. All right, the Spirit 84 for $5. It's a good thing for him that in 5 years he can buy a ticket to space if he saves his money. Lol. Yeah, no, the saves his money part, that's definitely a lull. Because number one, he has to have a job to save money, and being a flat earther, not sure that he has a job. And two, he has to be smart enough to realize the value in saving money and Something tells me he's a flat earther. I doubt he's that fucking smart to realize that. He probably thinks it's his job to spend everything down to the last penny every month. Bella charge for 5 New Zealand dollars. Elon Musk has done what you're asking. He sent his car to space and filmed it because he could. CGI. Obviously, Bella. CGI. Let's see. Irish Demon, my main man, for 2 Aussie dollars. Well done, Tony. I taught him everything he knows. These are facts. I have seen the Irish Demon live streams where he coaches Tony on how to be a YouTuber. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I can't wait to go through the course myself. Jeff Roberts for $4.99. Vlad, since you're such a good businessman, who knows what people want to see? Why don't you go pitch that idea to Coca-Cola? Yeah, and hey, I could see it being a good gimmick as an idea, but there's a reason why everything that's shot in space is CGI. Not everything that's shot in space. I mean, like, all the movies are CGI. All the commercials, CGI. There's a reason for that. It's really fucking expensive to send material up. Cost is based on mass. Camera equipment and video, all that equipment is fucking heavy. These things are just fucking facts, okay? So, for the extreme cost and the extreme danger that you would have to go in to do, to film that in space, when you could just pay somebody a couple $1,000s to make the exact same thing here on Earth, they're going to pay the couple of $1,000s. That's just how that works. Now, shooting an entire movie, and we didn't get to this point, but shooting an entire movie is different. That's something that has cultural value, that people will go to see it because it was the first movie shot entirely in space. There's big firsts for everything, and that's one of them. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Well, it's also the return on movies. It can be billions of dollars. So, quite a few billions of dollars, I think, in some cases.
At this point,
so there is potential for profit.
At this point, Coca-Cola could get away with zero advertising. I mean, they're just such a like a regular conversation piece, to the point that just saying, hey, I'm gonna go run to the store to grab a Coke real quick doesn't necessarily mean you're grabbing a Coca-Cola. That's how much of how involved it is in society, that the term Coke literally just is a replacement for soft drink or soda pop. So they wouldn't, the payoff of shooting a commercial versus the cost would not be worth it, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. The next one, Matt Metz for $5. Ding, 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 ding. Did this idiot not see the Tesla? One word, nub. Yes, he is a nub. John Rapp for 2 Aussie dollars. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
There we go. Aussies don't fuck around. Vlad, a word you really need to learn. Succinct. 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 And everybody be sure to give John Rapp that special treatment. God, I missed this. I've been so all the debates I've been in I've been so involved in them that I can't really follow the chat so much. Tonight was one of the first nights that I was able to follow chat.
Yeah.
Which means you're an amazing person to be able to hold your own. There you go, John Rapp. Well, those middle fingers are for you, sir. Jessica G for $2. Vlad picks his nose at around the 35-minute mark. What? Oh, man. I have to go back and watch that. Oh, I like that one, Heat Shield. I like that one. Virillion YouTube, man. I'm so glad you guys. Look at that. Clive Wells. He knows what he's doing. All right. Let's see. Carrie Oliver for $33.33. You flatters always say this. Why don't you all get together and send up a satellite to show the globe for yourselves? Waste your own money like Bob did. Thanks, Bob. Yeah.
Bob
Yeah,
wasted somebody else's money.
yes, he did, unfortunately. Greg Disiatov for $5 Aussie. The market would make a truckload of money doing tours and flights to the edge of a flat Earth. Vlad's logic just debunked himself. No fucking shit, right? You know how much money that would be to like how much you'd make just even off of the globe earthers that would be like, I've been lied to my whole life. I've got to go see what they've been hiding. It would be the next big thing. Everybody would go there. They'd be offering discount fucking tours because there'd be so many people out there trying to go see it. God's Auditor for $5. What the Christ is going on here? I leave you for 4 days and you guys let it all go to hell. Why am I looking at a guy who obviously cheats at golf? Oh man. I bet his name on the golf course is Captain Mulligan. I bet he just walks around and you're like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm taking Mulligan. You haven't even hit the ball yet. I'm so used to it. I'm just going to take another one. Robert Gassman. Stupidity is strong with this one. It is. Man, I wish he was here for some of these. Oh, Johan Roderick. Okay, Johan, after this live stream, let's have a quick chat if you don't mind. $1.99 at Team Skeptic. I need to talk to you ASAP. There's you and another person that I really need to. I keep forgetting to get in touch with you because your message is below, like where all the rest of the messages are. Like the new messages, have already pushed yours below a certain level. And I went through them today and I saw yours. I was like, oh man, I forgot to get back in touch with him. So after this, after I'm done with Super Chats, I'm going to close it down, Yuhan. If you've got about 2 or 3 minutes, let's get together in a Discord call and have a quick chat. Digital Demonic Davros for $5 Aussie. Don't test me. Oh, I will come in there and show Vlad what the Davros can do. God dog it, I wish I'd have known that. I'd have let you come in. Tonight we were just having fun. Virillion for $5 Aussie. Vlad doesn't have the mental capacity to sit still watching a real-time video of Earth spin. Yeah, that was an amazing video. Is exactly what he asked for and just met with denial. Didn't even have to see the video. It just immediately knew it was CGI.
Yeah, so yeah, and he had the same reaction to the Gemini footage, which is sort of. I have a friend who is a mad keen on NASA stuff and space missions and all of this sort of stuff. Not just the NASA missions, but and he showed me one of his specials, and they showed some of the Gemini footage, and I've gone, okay, there's no way you could fake that, right? It's just in 1965. That is just unfakeable. You can't do that. There's no reality in which that can have occurred. So the entire nonsense of what they're talking about gets instantly debunked as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand. Show me a real photo of your dome. They don't have one, yet they believe it's up there. They believe through inference. So you ask them, how do you know? Oh, well, everything just points towards, there being a dome. Here's the thing, right? Oh, science says, in certain instances, they can reference science. Science says there must be a container above us. Therefore, there's a container. They can use that inference, right? They can say, oh, well, if science says that we can't have pressure without a container, then there must be a container. But science also says mass does not move unless accelerated by a force.
Yep.
So when I hold up a ball and I drop it, why does it drop? If you're going to reference science, let's go ahead and reference all of science. Let's talk about science. Let's not just say, but I heard and I read and I saw that science says there must be a container, therefore there must be a dome. Well, that's not how it works.
They use it the other way as well. If you try and explain to a flat earther in detail how gravity works, and the evidence that supports gravity, they'll instantly want to start talking about why helium balloons rise and how Einstein is relevant and all of this sort of stuff. And you go, well, there are explanations for that, but we're going to have to take it one step at a time. So
Yeah.
let's get this out of the way before we move on to the rest of it. But they want, and they go, no, well, I want to talk about science as it is, not, and you go, well, you don't know anything about science, so let's try and get some scientific understanding into you before we move on to the farther it reaches. So they, as you say, they want the best of every single world. Science does apply when it favors them. It doesn't apply when it doesn't. But if you try and explain it, you have to explain everything all at once.
Yeah, and this is the next super chat. It goes right along with what you're saying. Vlad's entire argument is pure arrogant ignorance, and it is. It's exactly what you're saying. They're ignorant. Okay, so he's ignorant to both sides. He's ignorant to the science that supports the globe Earth and the science that supports the flat Earth. He's ignorant to both sides. He doesn't even know how to reference the science to support himself. And yet they do. That's the whole exactly what we were talking about. They don't understand the science of why, they talk about gas pressure and saying there needs to be a container for gas pressure. But then they hear that and they want to reference that and say, well, there must be a container equals dome. It's been verified by science. But it's all coming from a point of pure arrogant ignorance. Let's see. Oh, right. Imagine how much money flatards could make with all the cherry picking they do. That comes from Commander Darklight. Yeah, no shit, right? All right, Bella Charge for 2 New Zealand dollars. I'm only here because Tony is. Yeah, fucking right, Bella. You're here because of me, baby. Raza43 for $5. I cannot listen to this guy talk over y'all any longer. The funniest convo I ever had was with Vlad and how shadows work during an eclipse. Okay. No, yeah, you're right. I gave him a little bit of a platform to speak. I didn't want to mute him too much. I did mute him a few times because I felt like he was over talking Tony when Tony was trying to give some good information. So I did mute him a few times to let Tony speak, but I try not to mute on my channel. I try not to be a Nathan Oakley or a Nathan Thompson or any one of those guys that like to use that mute button heavily. All right. Thank you very much, Raza. Robert Gassman for $5. Dude, the Earth is so big that 1,000 miles per hour doesn't look like it's moving very fast. That's and I nailed it when he said, give me a time when you can see something with your own eyes and it's actually different than what you see. And I said, yeah, go watch the hour hand of a clock. It doesn't fucking move, but it does. Watch it over 60 seconds. You'll be convinced it's stuck in this fucking place. Watch it over fucking an hour and you'll be convinced that it's fucking moving. Two separate conclusions you can come up with based on you setting how much time you're going to use to make your observation. Same thing with the Earth. And the Earth moves half that fast.
Yeah.
Robert Williams for $1.99. Sad Vlad isn't rad. Sad Vlad is sad. Yes, he is. Gary IOW for £5. I'll ask to the food. I'll talk to the fool on photography. It's a language I'm very fluent in. God damn it. I'm sorry. I may have to bring him back and do like a let you guys come on from the chat one at a time and talk some sense into him. Because we have a lot of smart and very intelligent people who are very educated and very well practiced in the field in many different things, whether it comes to science or photography, sociology. I mean, we have a lot of experts around here. God's Auditor for $2. Vlad, download the Spy Me Sat and play with it. I've never seen or heard of that. I guess I probably need to check that out. The Spy Me Sat app. Okay. Eric Alluvium. Vlad, shut up long enough to learn something. No shit. Shut the fuck up, Vlad. God damn. And hey, okay, so since we have more people here than we did earlier, let me I'm going to share that link to my video that YouTube is trying to hide. All right, guys, I'm almost done with super chats, but in the meantime, I want to share something with you guys. For those of you that weren't here at the beginning, I explained that my latest video was censored by YouTube, completely censored, removed from the internet, and community strike was given to me, or at least a community warning, because they don't just issue strikes immediately anymore. They warn you one time, and then they start immediately issuing strikes. But I put it on my gaming channel just to make sure, and sure enough, they fucking deleted the video and struck me down immediately. So I put it on a G drive, and I'm gonna give it away for free for you guys. So here is the here's the file. I'm sorry. There you go. And then I'll also add it to a pinned comment after the video is done for anybody that's watching later, in case you don't see the live chat. Feel free to download it, do whatever you want with it, enjoy it. It's got all your favorite debunkers on it. All right, Eric Alluvium, Vlad. Oh yeah, I read this one, but I'll say it anymore because I can't stress it enough. Vlad, shut the fuck up long enough to learn something. Stringer News 1 for $5. Have you ever been to Flat Earth, Vlad? Yeah, exactly. Pics or it never happened. Exactly. Why is the double standard there, Stringer News? Why is it we must provide this specific evidence for him, but when we ask him to provide the same standards, not anything more than what he's asking for, literally the same standards that he's requiring for it to be considered evidence, we ask the same thing? No, I don't have it, but I'm okay. I can believe that. All right, Jessica G for $2. Take a shot every time Vlad contradicts himself. Are you trying to kill me, Jessica G? And don't answer the fucking question. I already know the answer. I should have remembered who I was talking to before asking that rhetorical question. Commander Darklight, woohoo! Aussie 30.99 for your pain and suffering. Oh my god, it was painful and Vlad's not so bad. He's an idiot. He's a village idiot. But he's a functioning idiot. So I think that's what makes him fun, is that he's actually a functioning idiot and not just one of these mindless tools like Spurs. Bella Charge for $5 New Zealand dollars. Have you seen electricity or the internet network? Exactly. All these things, excuse me, there's all these things that he believes in that he hasn't seen with his own eyes, like that he has a heart, that he has a space for a brain to exist, because I'm not so sure about the actual brain being there. I saw his head. He's got a space where a brain would normally go, but I'm not convinced that he's working with all the tools that we're working with, Tony.
Yeah. Well, I think, to me, he's got a decision. He's made that decision, and he's going to stick with it. And so I think sort of the only way to get him out of it is to work out why he's made that decision and try and approach it that way. Evidence isn't going to count. Whatever evidence we find, he's already decided is invalid for whatever reason. And
it's like Spurs.
So,
when Spurs told you that the other day, when you provided him with the data points that showed that the Earth cannot be flat, at least the AE map is wrong. The first thing he said was, no, the data's wrong because it's a flat Earth. If it says it's not a flat Earth, then the data must be wrong. And that's the only conclusion he can come to. He can't admit, that's why I think he's a Poe. Because he knows how to push you to a point where you answer the question, and then he just doesn't accept your answer, and he just says, hey, let's talk about something else. I didn't realize you were going to be able to answer that one. Let's go talk about this over here. And they'll just jump from topic to topic. Which next time I see him, if we're in a conversation together, I'm going to hold him to answering questions. I'm not going to let him just waltz away to the next topic. No, answer the fucking question. Spurs.
And they've got the two techniques there. One is to ask you a heap of questions to try and get you to explain stuff in ever more and more unrelated stuff in more and more detail. So if you have an answer for one layer of detail, they'll just start asking questions about the next layer underneath. The other one is, when asked a question, when you're talking about, well, I think of it as the hip hop hippie defense. Why are we talking about gravity? I want to see curvature. And then when you're talking about curvature, why are we talking about curvature? I want to see gravity.
Yeah,
They just,
why are we talking about
as
curvature when y'all can't even explain how to get a fucking water stick to a ball inside of the Earth's gravitational field? Yeah. And then Venom says, take that back about Spurs. He isn't a mindless tool. He's a Poe telling you or trolling you, and he does a damn good job with that. No, he doesn't do a good job because I've called him. If he did a good job, I wouldn't know he's a Poe. I think he's a Poe 100%. People like having him on. I think he's an idiot. I think that that he gives himself away when he doesn't answer the questions that would support his belief. Like, you talk to some of these other flat earthers and you begin to ask them questions about their belief, and they still try to answer it. They don't just get to a point where they know they can't answer it and then just take it in another direction because he doesn't want to get exposed. I think you're agreeing with me that he's a troll, though. Venom, you're agreeing with me that he's a troll, which is good because I agree. I think he's a big troll. All
you
right,
agree
let's
with
see.
yourself.
Yes.
Very comforting.
Oh, Disco. Okay, here it is. Disco Scotty for $5. Vlad is doing a wonderful job representing the mental capacity of the entire flat earth community. Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking morons. No point in talking to them about earth sciences. We do it for you guys who are listening in the crowd. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hellfire Hammer for $2. Ask Flag to tag to tag wife in to tell us what she thinks. That would have been an interesting conversation to see whether she's a flat earther or not.
I think actually, from the silent video at the beginning, it seemed like she was the person who was sorting out his audio problems.
Yeah, right.
So she was telling him what to do and what to press. That's what it looked like. So it seems like she might possess significantly more intellectual and technical competence than he does.
Yeah. Let's see. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand says Tony the Tiger, aka the Slayer of Flurfs. Yes, I like that. When he called you Tony the Tiger, I was like, oh man, there's another good name. But that might be,
It is a good
be your alternate.
I think it might be trademarked, but you can always
Yeah,
try.
you're right. It probably might be. Who knows? Well, there's something similar I remember from my childhood. Let's see. Pete.
He's a character on breakfast cereal.
Right. Pete C70 for $2. Team and Tony, I love y'all, but I just can't. Good night. Well, good night to you, Pete C70. Thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. Rampant for 2,500 claps. This is a gem of stupidity. The smugness, the sheer ignorance. Please convince NASA to put this in a deep space probe for aliens to find and admire. That would scare aliens away from us. I don't think I'm going to do that. Morton Nilsson for 17 Donkey Kong dollars, or 17 Donkey Kong dollars. Wow. Just wow. Yeah. That's my life. Miro Lankarich for 2 Aussie dollars. Vlad can get fortune for his brain. Rarely used. Yes. Mint. That's used mint condition. That's what we call that in the baseball card world. Bella Charge for 5 New Zealand dollars. How do you think through coolant spindle works? It's a high-speed rotating tool. The coolant comes in the middle and that can be swapped out. No leaks. I think that was in regards to a spinning helmet. Robert Gassman for $2. The guy better win Dumb Fuck of the Year 2020. Hands down. I don't know. He's got Nathan Thompson and JM Truth to deal with, and both of those guys have set some standards.
I think we're going to have to distinguish between casual stupidity and deliberate stupidity, right, or mindful stupidity. So when Anthony Riley made his egg video, he deliberately plotted this. This wasn't spontaneous, unconsidered stupidity. This was planned stupidity. He had worked at this. So I think that there's a real difference in the class of stupidity out there. I'd suggest that Vlad is just casually stupid as opposed to planning his stupidity out. Yeah. Chismondo suggests professional stupidity. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say voluntary, willful ignorance for sure. Willful ignorance for sure, yeah. Demonic Davros for $5 Aussie. Team, the black hole from Disney had the longest CGI in 1981 with the 3 and a bit minute green grid and the overture. Vlad, you are 16 years old. Damn, I wish I'd have seen that super chat. I'd have pulled the video from it. Excuse me. Demauser for $5. The first live stream I catch, and its ding level is over 9,000. Woohoo! That's fucking huge. Oh, I'm glad you could make it though, Demauser. I'm glad you could make it. Bella Charge for $2 New Zealand, 150 miles to the Russians, and they will take you, or 150 mil to the Russians, and they will take you, Vlad. No, they'll give him a discount, 75 mil, and not bring him back. Peter Miss Prime for $5 Aussie. I think Bad Vlad is representative of ADHD at its worst. I wouldn't doubt it. If I found out that he suffers from ADHD, I'd be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Oh, Cheese Mundo became a new member for the Dinger Slayers. Everybody, you know what to do. Share those emojis. And as soon as my computer... See, I'm not the only person that has to deal with this, apparently. It just doesn't move as fast as I want it to move. But thank you, Cheese Mondo. I appreciate you becoming a new member. Hellfire Hammer for $2. Can I ask chat to help me get someone to debate? Oh, yeah. Always. Hellfire Hammer, you're good. Chat, we have a lovely chat here. And if you're looking for someone to debate, I'm sure you can find either someone on either side of any argument in my chat, and people who are willing to stand up for what they believe. Micro Raptor for 59.6. Woo! Either the Earth is a globe or everyone has been lying to me. Everyone has obviously been lying to you, Micro Raptor. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry that the world has lied to you, but they have. There's flat. I'm just kidding. In case you were taking me seriously, don't. My knob hurts. My knob hurts. Really. Yeah, that's going to make me laugh for a second. My knob hurts. Flatter for 5 SGD. I've never heard of that one before. Sega Genesis dollars. For 5 Sega Genesis dollars, Flat Earth could solve the problem forever with $500 worth of weather balloons and a camera. And they can't do that. That little amount they just can't do. Nathan Termson upgraded his membership to become, a Golden Dinger. Wow, that's like one of the most elite levels you could possibly become is the Golden Dinger. That's when you just shine everywhere. Irish Demon for $2.99 Aussie. Tony is such a great asset to the community. BARPM. Barpum. What is that? Oh, what does that mean?
That's an acronym for Birds Aren't Rocket Powered, Mate.
Oh, birds aren't rocket powered, mate. Yes.
Which is a line I used on Spurs during our debate. His Irish, and I agree, thinks that that should be on my first shirt if there's ever a shirt produced. And his lovely partner Jen has been working on a design for it, which is absolutely fantastic. The bird looks goofy as hell, but he seems to be enjoying his rocket ride, so that's what counts.
Okay, birds aren't real what, mate?
Birds aren't rocket powered.
Oh, rocket powered. Birds aren't rocket powered, mate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's when someone was saying that, trying to compare flying rockets with birds.
Yeah, that's right. How do you think birds
Fucking
fly?
moron.
And my response was that was Spurs Chemo when he was trying to explain to us that rockets don't work. Um,
All right, so we have a
Microraptor says that the universe
go
is
ahead.
full of random shit. Yes, it is. But
Yeah,
anyway,
right. Okay, so Nathan Cross from for $2 New Zealand. Hey, from New Zealand. Thanks for what you do. Nah, thank you, man. I do this. I have fun, especially when I can bring someone like Tony on to kind of take the burden of entertainment off of just my shoulders. That's always a great thing, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate Tony. I appreciate all you folks from the Southern Hemisphere. You guys seem to like me for whatever reason. Eric Ramsey
you've
for
got a very
2.99.
Australian sense of humor. Actually,
What's that?
you've got a very Southern Hemisphere sort of sense of humor.
I
It
love
may be
it,
the
man.
Texan in you. Yeah, you'd fit right in.
I can't wait to go visit you guys, man.
Mm.
As soon as it's all over, I think I'm gonna do one trip that I'm gonna take and spend a few weeks up in England, and then try to head out and go down to Australia, and do like a New
Well, if you
Zealand
do, you've got a
Australia.
lot of friends who are going to want to
I
hang out with you.
I know. You just have to hide from you
Hmm.
Aussie fucks in the outback with the kangaroos.
You don't need
Stephen
to go
York.
out back to see kangaroos.
Oh, really? You have some at your house? That's awesome. I'm staying with Tony,
Not
guys.
well
Don't ask. I'm
in the
staying with Tony.
in the paddock just out the back. Yeah, there's kangaroos.
All right. Stephen
No
York
joke.
for five. Huh?
No joke. There are kangaroos out the back in the paddock out the back of where I
Are
live.
there,
I live next to
hey,
a
are
sheep.
there kangaroo steaks? Like, are kangaroo steaks like an actual thing?
Yep,
I now want to go.
absolutely.
I now have a reason to be in Australia to eat kangaroo steaks.
Haven't I told you this story? There's a restaurant at a local tourist venue that serves kangaroo, emu, crocodile, water
I've had
buffalo,
emu.
and
I've had emu and alligator. I don't know if I've ever had crocodile. I've had water
right. Okay.
buffalo, emu, and
You sure you've
gator.
had emu?
Yeah,
You haven't
they
had
have emu.
ostrich instead?
They have emu burgers here in Dallas, and I have had one.
Okay.
I
Well, there you
don't I
go.
don't like the taste. Very very different. Kind of like almost like a
It is
turkey
different.
burger, almost like a turkey burger to me. Like it has
Yeah.
like a kind of a gamey taste to it. It's not too bad. I mean I'm sure there's people out
Yep.
there that like it, but it's very like wild. It has a very very wild taste to it. Which is,
Yeah.
I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I eat wagyu beef. I try to only eat wagyu beef when I go out. Uh,
Okay.
if they have that option. I don't know if you guys have a lot of wagyu down in Australia. Stephen
We
York
do
for
have
five.
some.
Yeah, but, well, you're close to Japan, so you should. Stephen
Yeah,
York for five
that's right.
Aussie dollars. Why do you keep giving this lobotomized cunt airtime? Because the lobotomized cunt is fun to poke at. I think he's a little bit. I think platforming someone like him is better than platforming some of these other fuck faces who want to be platformed just so they can spew their hate on your channel. So maybe that's why, but I don't think Red Vlad's actually that bad. I think he's funny material. So maybe that's why, Steven, I guess. Bill Devitt also became a new member. Yes, thank you, Bill Devitt. I appreciate it. Let me give you all the cool emojis. And then I think we have one or two more super chats, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here. As soon as my thing will let me post there. Okay. My knob hurts again. He says his 5 Sega Genesis dollars are really Singapore dollars at this says at 1,000. Oh, they're Singapore dollars at 1,000 miles per hour on the equator. Yes, that's awesome. And then the Spirit 84 for $5, working flat Earth model Minecraft, then claim it's not CGI. Yes, let's do it. I'm down. I've never played Minecraft before, but you know what? I will. Gowden's Riber says, shut the fuck up, Nathan. Yes, you're right. Your guys are getting it. Tony, it was a pleasure, man. I'm glad you could make it tonight. Do you have anything you want to
Thank
say
you
before
very
we
much.
get out of here?
Well, thank you very much for having me on. I just put out a new video yesterday, and it's quite boring, but it takes on Nathan Oakley. So, it explains some science, so hopefully it's worthwhile. But thank you very much for having me on. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
And Eric Ramsey says for $1.99 in Arlington, Texas, man, would love to meet you. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh, Diabetic War Slug, I'm so glad you just super chatted because you sent me a donation through my donation link, and thank you so much for that. Just to update you guys, I told y'all recently that that I was doing kind of like a mini fundraiser to get this piece of equipment that I needed, and I absolutely fucking need it. With the help of people like Commander Darklight, Bella Charge, Carrie Oliver, Diabetic War Slug, Athens 619. Let's see, there's a few other people. Let me just glance over here and see who else. There's a few people that were able to donate. And I wanted to say thank you guys so much for donating. I have actually already purchased the piece of equipment. It's a Go XLR Mini. It will help me to be able to control volumes a lot better, especially during my gaming stream. For the regular streams, it's good. It'll help out. It'll make it easier, but it's really meant for my gaming streams. And trying to see if I have any other donators that I missed. But thank you, Diabetic War Slug, for your donation the other day. And I missed it while we were live streaming, and I truly apologize. All right, hold on. Let me... Jackalope Herdmaster, thank you also. Tanner Withheld, yes, thank you. I saw yours, and I meant to say something, but I don't think I've done a gaming stream since your donation. But Diabetic War Slug for $15 says, just saw this was on. Thanks YouTube for the notification. Got to get some sleep, but can't wait to rewatch this in the morning. This was actually a pretty funny stream, Diabetic War Slug. I think you'll actually like it. So when you get your first opportunity, give it a watch. Outside of that, guys, I want to say thank you to everybody who was able to super chat tonight. Thank you to everybody else who was just here watching and stayed around for the whole thing. Give it a thumbs up. If you can't super chat, it's the easiest way to help out. Just share the video. Go share it on Facebook in a Flat Earth group. I always say this one thing. If you can't support your local Flat Earth debunker financially, that's totally cool. All you have to do, in lieu of the financial support, is piss a Flat Earther off with one of my videos. Every day, though. Every goddamn day. Every time a new video comes out, your obligation is to piss off one Flat Earther on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, wherever they're at. You piss off one Flat Earther, you've done your daily good deed. All right? Outside of that, thank you, everybody. Be sure to hit like before you get out of here. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, man. It was a pleasure having you as always. And
My pleasure.
think that's gonna be where we ended. I didn't fail last time. See, I would have failed if I would have not known ahead of time. Like right now, I know I'm gonna fail, so I'm just talking until I get it set up so I don't fail. Like right now, later.
You failed.